So hey, welcome to the podcast. We're playing some Dark Souls.
This is the Lords of the Fallen update.
Yeah.
It just came out. It's a secret DLC.
Yeah, surprise DLC.
Yeah.
Miyazaki, you got us again.
Yeah. Who knew? He's on the ball and he knows what us fans want.
And what we want is a shoddy ripoff.
By American people. I'm pretty sure it's American people.
Gotcha! Tricked you!
We fooled you!
We're having a goof and a gaff here on this fine Thursday evening.
Yes. Thursday.
Can I say that it's Thursday?
Well, yeah, that's fine. I think saying that it's Thursday is okay, because it's Thursday to us.
Yeah.
But to everyone else, it could be whatever day.
I don't want to ruin the illusion is all.
Wait until next week, Thursday, and then there's no illusion.
No, watch our content right now.
Oh, okay. I apologize. Watch it now.
It's so good.
It's like... You know what? Surprisingly enough, the podcast views have been going quite well.
Oh, really?
I think, like, overall, like, having things that are, like, over an hour long, and people having, like, there's, like, a decent amount of views on these things. I'm surprised. A decent amount of views for my channel, which is, like, it's pretty subpar to really bad for most, but decent amount of views. Not bad.
Not bad.
You're going to be hearing a lot of that tonight.
Yes.
And you're not going to get what it is.
No.
So let's move on.
Alright. So this is Dark Souls 3.
This is the follow-up cast.
The follow-up to the podcast we recorded in April.
When Dark Souls 3 first came out.
When it first came out.
When I could first afford to buy it. Which was, what, $90? Almost $100?
Yeah,
I think it came to like $98 to buy this fucking game.
I think it was 92.
Was it 92?
Yeah, about 92.
I don't know. I think it was like $200.
It felt like it.
Yeah, it did.
Point is,
it hurt.
Had we bought this on Steam, we would have got like the deluxe edition pretty much paid for.
Yeah. Season pass, all that jazz.
Yeah, exactly.
Season pass, though, surprisingly enough, is only like $20 or $24 or something like that. Which to me is like, because I think about season passes and some of them, can be $100.
Looking at you, Call of Duty.
At you. Anyway,
that's the viewer.
Yeah. Should we?
Yeah, let's.
I think we should go with the new game, and then
we go with the new game.
Well, we can go with my original game, which I've gone all the way through, and we can like step through every area. We won't see any bosses, but we can like just go through every area
and just kind of take a look at things.
We can do that.
You know what? I'm a fan of that idea. I'm down for that.
Okay, let's do it.
It will.
You're gonna have to play as the infamous Syrup.
Ooh.
So you have to, I think it's Syrup. Yeah, Syrup.
Oh man,
there he is. We got Kip and Syrup and Zombie.
Quite a bit more pimped out since the last time I saw.
Yeah, Syrup. Syrup is. I've been grinding with Syrup. I beat the game and then I decided not to do New Game Plus and decided to just grind the final boss. Over and over and over again.
Holy smokes!
Yeah, he's pretty boss.
I'd say. Is it the
Grass Crest?
Yeah, Grass Crest.
Yeah, you find that bad boy in the swamps. It's as soon as you walk in the swamps, you like take a left and it's right there. It's awesome.
This is like my standard setup for Dark Souls 1.
Yeah.
Well,
big sword, Grass Crest.
Black Knight Halberd, but Grass Crest.
Yeah.
Just uses passive ability.
I really like the Bastard Sword. I played through Dark Souls 1 like 4 times with the Bastard Sword. That's the Great Oak. No.
This is... Well, you do get it from the Great Oak.
Yeah.
This is Lucatiel of Mira's
sword
from Dark Souls 2.
Yeah.
Because I remember when we were playing, or we were doing the last podcast, I was telling you that this was the sword that I was currently using
in Dark Souls 2.
In this game.
Oh, primarily.
Really? That was my main weapon.
I seriously, as soon as I beat that first fucking, as soon as I beat the Oak Folk. Yeah, we called it that in the first one. The Oak Folk. As soon as I beat the Oak Folk, I got that sword and I didn't switch it out the entire game. So, like, what is that? The third boss? He's technically the third boss, but he's like the second boss in the game because the first boss, Iodex Gundyr, is like the trial, the test boss or whatever.
It's been a long time since I played this, so I'm trying to remember everything. Because we were like, hey, let's record this podcast. I'm like, fuck yeah, let's finish this up, wrap up the plot,
Yeah.
And then I was like, shit, I have not touched this game in at least a month.
Yeah.
So,
I've been playing through it. The last time I played it was maybe 3 days ago. So I'm very familiar with it. I have gotten up to the point which I absolutely dreaded, and I cannot beat it. It is the Dancer of the Boreal Valley. And that fucking boss fight, I swear, is the absolute worst boss fight. I'm just going to move the mic, because it's kind of like in your grill a little bit.
That's okay.
Maybe I'll move it back. There we go.
Alright.
No, maybe it's worse.
Okay.
Who knows?
I keep running on this rooftop.
Yeah.
So we get it sorted.
There we go. We're good.
Alright.
But I hit the Dancer in my new playthrough, and I hate my life. And I've stopped playing it since 3 days ago. Yeah. And I don't really want to pick it up.
So, when you say you're at the Dancer, are you talking about normal, like, story progression-wise? You're at that point, or...
I'm not exactly sure when you're supposed to fight the Dancer.
After Aldrich.
Okay,
Aldrich.
Yeah, that's where I am then. Because I've beaten every boss all the way up until the Dancer. So I fought Aldrich, and then I headed to the Dancer. So
yeah, because technically, Dancer could be your second boss fight.
Yes, because you can kill that bitch that's sitting there.
Yes.
And,
yeah. And she's like, why would you do this?
Yeah. How could you have done this?
You will pay.
Yes.
With your blood. And then you're like...
the Dancer comes down and fucks your day.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, shit.
Let's
go somewhere.
Yeah, sure. How about we start off with the high wall?
Yes. It's a good place to start. That's the wrong one.
Yeah,
there we go.
So, I said this in the original podcast, and I still believe it.
Mm-hmm.
Believe it. I don't like the fact that they incorporated the teleporting around like Dark Souls 2.
Right off the hop. Because it feels like the game isn't just one area that you walk through like the first game. Yeah.
It still feels like you're teleporting around too much. Because instead of walking to the high wall, you teleport there. Then after defeating... Which boss is it?
It is Vort.
You beat Vort, and then you get teleported to a new area, and there's no connection. It feels like there's too much distance between the areas.
Well, even in that regard, I'd say it's even worse than fucking Dark Souls 2, because Dark Souls 2, like, you start at the things betwixt.
Yeah.
And then
you like go through a bunch of weird portals. And then you teleport to Majula, right?
You don't teleport.
No, yeah, you walk
just walk right there.
Yeah.
And then you walk to the next areas.
Yeah.
So in that regard, this is... Well,
it's more fractured.
Yeah. That's a good way to put it, I'd say.
Yeah.
But at the same time, from a narrative standpoint, I get it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that I prefer it.
Yeah.
But I understand.
It's also a very large game.
Yes.
And loading things like that is just much easier when you have a teleport and a load screen than just walking there.
Yeah.
Though the frame rate is still bad and it has to load assets in. So, also, dogs. Dark Souls, dogs are the worst dogs.
Sorry, dude.
And the worst enemies of any video game ever. They are the absolute worst fucking enemies ever. I've died to the dogs so many fucking times, you have no idea.
I just like right now, because... If you can't tell, dear viewer, there's a bit of a delay between what I'm seeing and what you're seeing.
Yeah.
So
what we're hearing is like a couple seconds behind what we're seeing.
So I'm just like smacking these guys, and there's
silence.
Silence.
Yeah. There it is.
There we go.
Yeah.
So
okay, I have a few things. These are my notes from when I first started playing the game. And I started writing them down after my initial thoughts on Dark Souls. You're not going to be able to get him. Only 2 hits? 3 hits? Not bad. He doesn't do any damage to you anyway. Fuck, he's loud.
Yeah, it's...
Fuck, he's loud. He doesn't do any damage to you anyway, because you're like level 100 or something like that. Nice. Anyway, These are the notes that I wrote down when I first started playing the game, and I didn't go over them with our initial... I'm pretty sure I didn't go over them with the initial podcast, but I have here, enemies are more frustrating. I don't know why I put that, but
you know what? That's the thing. That's like a hot topic of debate for this game that I've seen, anyways. Is the state of the general difficulty for Dark Souls 3. Because there's some people that say this is like the easiest Dark Souls game, and like that they're just blitzing through it, and it's like, oh, you know what? I'm probably just good at this because I finally got good.
Yeah, you get good.
And I think it's kind of a case-by-case basis.
I think it is,
because
too.
honestly, I think this is the most difficult
I agree.
Dark Souls game.
I think the areas are much more difficult than any other Dark Souls game. The bosses are the easiest part of this game.
Yeah, I think I'd have to agree with that. The thing is, I think, anyways, Dark Souls 2 took a lot from Dark Souls 1 in terms of, like, enemy behavior. And I feel like they vastly changed up the, like, enemy AI and stuff like that in this game. In some regards. Like these guys, you know, they're your typical fucking dudes.
Backstab. 1,000 damage.
Fuck yeah. But,
Fuck
like,
his day.
I think overall there's a shift. Just because it's kind of like the enemy, like the attack patterns and stuff like that, it kind of feels more like I did that wrong again.
It's
I keep forgetting you push it in.
Yeah.
It feels more akin to Bloodborne.
You got too used to the Lords of the Fallen update.
Yes.
That you're just not used to pushing.
Yeah, they don't have the R3 jump button.
Yeah.
Classic.
But I do agree that it is more akin to Bloodborne.
Yeah.
In the sense.
Because it's like, how do I want to phrase this? I guess because Dark Souls 2 still feels sluggish.
Oh, that's a big fella.
Oh, dude. Can you even fit through that door? Shit.
Yes, you can.
Guess what? We're doing this. Oh, I did not dodge.
That was amazing.
Appropriately. I'm going to just take a chug of that. Yeah.
Oh, he still doesn't do any damage to you, though.
Blah.
Wow, you killed him in
that
one
was
hit. That
way
anticlimactic.
better than expected. But yeah, I think they changed up like enemy feel quite a bit.
Yeah.
To the point where it feels fresh again.
Yeah.
And in that regard, I did it again. Yeah. So I think in that sense, it makes the areas leading up to the bosses quite a bit more challenging.
Yeah.
Especially this area.
Yeah,
because
of course.
The fucking... Like, these dudes are fucking
just... The Lothric Knights? Oh,
yeah,
they're fucking nightmare.
They're fucking...
And it's like one of the first areas that you go into, and they're fucking insanely difficult. Like, you're super squishy, and then these fuckers come in, and they're just impossible. The one thing that I have here following the enemies being more frustrating is that every area that you go into, the new big strong enemy can one-shot you, no matter what. Every area that you walk into, unless you're like really good at kind of gauging what level you should be, you go into a new area, you see a new enemy, and it just fucking demolishes you with one hit. And there's one big enemy in every area, or like one surprise little thing in every area that will kill you with one shot every time you walk into a new area.
So like we'll say that dude I just one shot back there.
Yeah, you see that area?
Dude.
Yeah, you walk into that area and you're like, huh, this guy looks like he's tough, and then you like bump into him and he fucking just wails on you and he kills you with one hit.
Yeah.
And that happens pretty much every time.
Yeah. Do this little shuffle there, buddy.
See,
I'm glad that we're playing this character because I'm terrible. I'm terrible at this game, so I can just walk in, look like a badass motherfucker, and just
wreck
shit.
everybody. Yeah, that's the best part. That's what I love doing too, is just being super OP and just killing everything.
Yeah.
You just feel like a badass because you're like, I remember when I came through this area and when I was level 10. Yeah. Now I'm level 100 and I can fuck everyone's day.
Yeah. Like, there's something to be said about rising up to the challenge and overcoming like a certain area, like when you feel weaker.
Yeah.
But it's... in some regards, it almost is not as satisfying as just trash and shit.
Yeah, I agree.
So, and I mean, I like both a lot, so I don't want to be like...
Yeah. It makes you feel good in both ways.
It does. It really does.
It's just tons of good.
So.
what I have next is I felt the bosses were fairly uninspired. There were I don't want to... No, maybe it's not 3. There was 2 bosses for sure, and they were back-to-back that were, like, gang fight, or whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Abyss Watchers and Deacons of the Deep?
They're back-to-back fights, and it's just like, Abyss Watchers, you fight, like, 4 dudes, 5 dudes at a time. Deacons of the Deep, you're fighting, like, 30 dudes at a time. And they're back-to-back, and they feel identical, and they're kind of boring. The Abyss Watchers, I think the Abyss Watchers looked great, but it was just the Artorias boss fight over again. He was pretty much identical to Artorias.
With the second phase.
Yeah, with the second phase. And instead of getting more difficult with the second phase, it just became easier because instead of having to fight 5 of them at a time with his super firepower going, you only had to fight 1, and you didn't really have to worry that much. So...
Yeah,
I felt like, I don't know. I beat the Abyss Watchers on my second playthrough because I knew what was coming up. Yeah. But on the second playthrough, I beat him in the first try. And it's like, that just does... I feel like that just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
You know, like, even I go back and play the first Dark Souls and I fight some of those bosses and I know what's going to happen and I still get fucked.
Yeah. See, Iudex Gundyr was the first time in any Souls game, except for Bloodborne. So I guess any, like, strictly Dark Souls game... that I died to the first boss.
Yeah.
And then I go into my second playthrough, and I'm like, oh yeah, fire does a lot of damage. I kind of want to try a Pyromancer character anyways.
Yeah.
And then I just walk in and just fucking wreck house.
Yeah.
I need to finish that playthrough, because, like, I don't know, I like starting with a tank character. Mm-hmm. Just because I like going in and smacking shit, and then after that, when I get, like, an idea as to what I'm going up against in general...
Yeah.
Then I like to experiment with, like, sorceries or... Mm-hmm. Actually, I've never rolled a Pyromancer, like, full-on Pyromancer. I've done, like, Pyromancies, but I'm more just straight sorceries.
Yeah.
I guess.
I've always gone tank character. Heavy swords, heavy armor.
Yeah.
I don't know, I just always enjoyed that. There's something about it. Especially... Like, it stands true to all these fucking games. The cooler you look, the more badass you feel, and you feel like you can just take on anything. Yeah. You're like, none of these bosses make a fucking difference, because I got this sweet hat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I got the fucking Pope hat.
Yeah, yeah. Fashion
all y'all
souls.
motherfuckers better watch out.
Yeah, motherfuckers is nothing.
Yeah.
Ain't seen nothing yet. Baby. I feel this is the biggest thing with me this game, is that it's too open. It's far too wide open. There are some areas that you walk into that are just fucking empty. Like, they meant to put a bunch of clutter and rubble around, but they didn't have time for it. So they just...
What would you say is an example of that? Like
right where you fight the first little fucking dude from the Boreal Valley, just after the Road of Sacrifices.
Oh, yeah. The dude that I just walked past that one time.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh shit, I don't want to fight this guy.
Yeah, you can just walk past him. But you first go down that first set of stairs and you walk into that first room, and it's giant. It's a huge hall, and like the ceilings are so fucking high, and there's nothing in there. Just floor tiles and fucking the ceiling and a couple and pillars in the corners. It's completely empty. There's absolutely nothing, and I'm like, I feel like there was supposed to be something here. Like, you walk in and you're like,
yeah, I can see that.
Where's the assets? Like, where's the fucking pottery? Just put pottery in here to make this room feel a little more full.
I can see that.
Like, there's some areas that are just... And that's the prime example of that one, is it's just totally empty. And where else is there one? There's a really good one, and it's you walk in and you're like, I feel like there was supposed to be something here. Oh, the Boreal Valley Castle.
Oh, yeah.
There's so many areas that you walk into and you're like, there's nothing here. Why does this area exist? And there's so many like little nooks and crannies that are huge. They're huge openings, and there's fucking nothing. You're like, what was the point of this? Why?
Yeah, I can see that for sure. Like,
yeah, I think about the first game, and in spectrum and in size of the whole fucking Dark Souls 1, it's tiny compared to this game. Mm-hmm. This game is huge, but What's with the flashing going on? Is that... No, it's just the TV. Never mind. I see this flashing. Do you see it going on in the... It's not happening on there, on the capture. I think it's just the TV. Anyway, I feel like Dark Souls 1 is really claustrophobic. And there's a lot of assets and there's a lot of things like boxes and barrels, and it just makes everything feel really tight and enclosed.
Well, think about the first Titanite demon you fight.
Yeah.
Like that enclosed area right by Andre.
That's probably
There's lots of just like pillars and stuff laying down, lots of stuff like in the way. And not necessarily saying like having a bunch of shit all over the place makes the area more exciting, but like there's definitely some strategy to moving around that area when you're fighting against like the first like really big non-boss.
Yeah.
You know?
He's just a giant fucking enemy.
He's just a
and
big
you're not ready
asshole.
for him. Yeah. And you walk into the area and you're like, okay, I have to kind of move around all these pillars and all this shit on the floor so that I can fight him. But you walk into an area and it's just a giant empty fucking chasm. You're like, was there supposed to be something in here? Or like, am I supposed to fight a demon or something? But I feel like the first game was really claustrophobic, and it had such charm with that. Like, everything is so tight and claustrophobic, and this brings me back to Bloodborne. Yet again, I have to state this. Bloodborne is probably my favorite fucking game for the PS4. Like, holy shit, that game is so good. And you walk through the streets of Bloodborne, and everything's just tight, and, like, you have to fight 4 dudes in this tiny little alleyway.
Yeah.
And then you come to this game, and there's these giant sprawling areas, and there's just nothing in it. It's just completely empty. There's not even enemies.
I have a counterpoint to that for Dark Souls 1. Talking about just a big, mostly empty area that's like kind of pointlessly wide open and could be, filled up with a lot more interesting things aside from giant fucking half dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Well, the fucking Lost Izalith.
Yeah.
Which Miyazaki has said is his least favorite.
Oh, really?
Dark Souls area.
Where is that area? I don't remember it.
Oh my god.
Get out of there, dude.
I'm trying. That guy keeps smashing me.
You cannot get killed. You're not allowed to die. Yeah.
And guess what?
Dudes.
Blah.
Take it.
There we go.
Lost Izalith. Where is that in the first game?
It is right... Okay, so... How do I explain it? So you know where you fight Quailag?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So you go further down.
Oh, yeah.
Fight Ceaseless Discharge.
Yeah.
Go down further.
Yeah.
Fight the fucking reskin of the Asylum Demon.
Yeah.
Demon Fire Sage.
Yeah.
Then you go further down, fight the Centipede Demon, and then Lost Izalith.
Yeah.
That's where you fight the Bed Chaos.
Yeah.
That area is basically just like, well, I should say, leading up to the part where you actually get back on non-lava area again. Oh, fuck, I forgot about this motherfucker.
Yeah, that bitch.
Yeah.
Wow, she's got fucking high defense.
Yeah. But, like, that whole base area that's just lava that you're running across, there's, like...
It's empty.
It's very empty. There's just, like... They're just like, hey, let's just fucking toss in a bunch of these...
The Capra Demon. Oh, no, that's the Taurus.
Dinosaur butts.
Yeah.
No, this is
right.
Yeah.
Those fucking little marble floating guys.
Well, no, not even that. It's before that.
Oh.
Like, it's the big half dinosaur asses that are just walking around.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like a shitload of those.
Right.
They're like, let's just fill the area with those in like 2 towers.
Yeah, they were just like copy and paste.
Yeah, one of them has a secret bonfire in it, and the other one has
just nothing.
A great soul of a hero or some shit like that. And it's so like easily like the most bland.
Yeah,
I know even exactly when like you come down, like it's kind of it's just it's those marble dragon dudes.
Yeah.
Kind of just placed here and there and stuff, and
yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's not that exciting when you think about an area like, I don't know, fucking
Anor Londo.
Anor Londo, yeah.
Like that area is open, but it has so much atmosphere and it has so much character that it doesn't feel open. And they don't fill it with just a bunch of little random enemies. There's those giant fucking soldiers. There's
lightning demon dudes.
Yeah, like, and then there's
that area. Everything feels like strategically placed.
You can't fall. You will die.
Yeah, just checking it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, it feels it feels like everything is placed there for a reason, which is like the best sign of Dark Souls level design is when things are put in a spot that just makes sense. Like with the like general progression of like the average gamer, I guess.
Yeah.
And then you get to Lost Isleth and you're just like, just fucking slap shit wherever. Fucking.
It's like padding.
Yeah, it's kind of just. It's not exciting. Yeah. So that's my counterpoint to like the big open areas. That are in this game.
By the way, if you saw some stutter frames there, it's because the game actually fucking just randomly decided to drop a bunch of frames just because that's what the game does. Are you okay? Do you not see like the plants like shining like that?
I do now. Like now. Yeah, I definitely notice that now.
It's not happening on there, I don't think.
I think it's just your TV.
I think my TV. This TV is fucking awful, by the way. So yeah. Anyway,
let's go to the last bonfire.
I have in the notes here. So there's the open areas, and then you spend a lot of time outside. There's a lot of time spent out in the open and not in like an enclosed space.
Yeah. But
I feel like even when you're in the forest in Dark Souls or Bloodborne, it feels enclosed. It feels like there's a
Dark Souls
like a ceiling of fauna. You know,
it definitely feels like, like when you get there's kind of like that almost like tunnel straight to that area with like the big stone dudes that like slow down time. Yeah, and
that's
stuff
the
like
Forgotten Forest or whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah, or
Forest of Despair. Or something.
It should be something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Anywho.
Or it's the Forgotten Wood, isn't it? Because you had to buy...
No, that's Bloodborne.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Forbidden Wood? It's something like that.
I thought it was like something garden. Or maybe I'm thinking of the DLC. Yeah. Anyways.
Well, the garden is where you fight that fucking garden guardian or whatever.
Oh, Sanctuary Guardian?
Yeah. But anyway, like you walk into that area and it feels like there's like a roof above you because it feels like the trees make like a canopy, right?
Exactly.
And you walk into an area in Dark Souls 3 and you're just like out in the open. There's nothing. You're looking around like, wow, maybe I can see like what's off in the distance. You're kind of just out in the open. Like there's nothing happening. And it still kind of takes me back to the whole, it just doesn't feel like there's anything going on. Like if you look up, like, you can see sky, you know? Like, you couldn't see sky anywhere in Dark Souls 1. Like, there was very few areas that you could just look up and fucking see the sky.
Yeah.
And this game, I feel like they tried to make it so big, they just didn't know how to fill it.
Yeah, I guess. I know. Personally, I actually really like the big open
It's
spaces.
Fucking gorgeous. And
there's the one area in particular that's, like, all... Except for like one little bit, it's like pretty much all open. That it's probably my favorite area in the game, despite all my misgivings with the boss. The second boss is Archspire. Is it Archspire Peak or Archdragon Spire or Archdragon Peak?
Yeah,
I don't know. The place where you fight the Nameless King. Spoiler.
Yeah. Come on, this is the follow-up cast, so I think they're gonna be ready for
just a little joke. For Thursday evening.
For a Thursday night.
Yeah, but See, I like that area because I always find the areas where it's well lit and open and stuff. I find those to be the most appealing.
You can see what's going on.
Because like the thing with Dark Souls 1. Is a very gloomy game.
Yeah.
And, like, even when it's light out, it's very gloomy. This game is more about full-on decay.
Yeah. I agree.
You know? And so to get, like, I don't know, I don't want to say, like, a moment of reprieve because you don't ever...
It never stops.
Yeah. It just, it's a palate cleanser. That's what it is, you know?
And, you know, maybe I'm looking at it the wrong way, and I should be looking at it as not... as a comparison to Dark Souls 1 or Dark Souls 2, but I should look at it more of the universe of Dark Souls is who's the dude who directed Mad Max?
George Miller. He said Mad Max, it doesn't matter who plays Mad Max because Mad Max is just a character in this universe. And I feel like that's the way I should look at it. Each game is kind of like its own standalone story within the universe of Dark Souls. So it's like each they're not related in any way, and none of these, you know, like none of the enemies. I guess that guy was just...
he's just taking a nap. Serious 5.
All right.
But I feel like each one is its own standalone universe, and I feel like I should be taking it that way instead of making such harsh comparisons. But
well, the thing that they say right at the start of Dark Souls 1 is that you're in an area where basically time and space is convoluted as fuck. It just doesn't, so for all we know, every fucking universe of Dark Souls is all happening at once. You know? Or they're happening separately. It could be both simultaneously even.
Who knows?
And there's kind of a point I wanted to bring up. I don't know if I want to bring it up now because I don't know.
Well, yeah, I got plenty. This gets to just the gameplay in general. I have 2 points here. One of them is a con, and then the other one's a pro, which I think is the... I'll go with the con first. The con is kind of short. As it says that the game feels a little too grindy in comparison to the other games.
I have to agree with that.
You don't get any fucking souls at all from any of the basic enemies. Yeah. And I said that in the first one. I was like, man, I have to like really grind these enemies to get souls. But it's not... You don't grind the area, you grind the boss. So you find the bonfire that's closest to the boss, and you constantly grind that boss. Even though you only maybe get 2-3 grand from that boss, you gain enough souls to gain enough levels to get you through the next area. So I would say grind that boss of the previous area at least 5 times, gain a few levels, and then move on to the next area. Yeah. And then do the same thing, repeat the process. You really have to grind in this game, and I don't think it was intentional, but I think it was to make the game more difficult, is kind of starve you of souls, and then make you really go back and kind of absorb the area, or whatever it is, but it feels like it's more of a task to actually have to go to these areas, grind it out, and then move on to the next area.
Well, I think it's also just an issue of balancing, because I think, like, obviously with Dark Souls, you're supposed to feel overwhelmed. Like, that's part of the charm, I guess. But at the same time, like, Dark Souls is about learning
these patterns. Guys, by the way.
Yeah, I fucking hate these guys.
They just have a big fucking tree. That's the best part.
That's like, why... I mean, they don't do, like, shit all, but...
Yeah, they just got trees.
Don't smack me with your tree there, buddy.
Anyway, sorry I interrupted you.
Yeah, but it's like, Dark Souls is all about patterns and learning how the game works as opposed to just getting beefier. Yeah. You know? Yeah. But in some respects, with this game, it feels like... Oh, shit, that's not what I want to do. You have to learn how the game works, but on top of that, even when you learn that, you're still woefully underpowered to deal with, like, most of the tasks that are thrown your way. Yeah. So...
Yeah, I agree with that.
In some regards, you have to learn by grinding.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, keep replaying an area... Oh, fuck, I forgot about this dude.
Yeah. Big ugly fucker.
Yeah. That guy is such a pain in the dick.
Well, when you're, like, super low leveled and you first get into this area and you have to fight him and you're like...
And that's like, my point, is, like... you know, you have... And, I mean, you learn by dying. Yeah. That's a given.
Yeah.
But, at the same time, like, there's still... It doesn't feel like there's lots of opportunities for, like, actual fair advantage. Because Dark Souls is hard, but fair.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's never, like, completely fucking...
Yeah.
Just completely against you.
Yeah. But I feel like, especially early on in this game, it's, like, very against you.
It is, yeah.
Like, it's... Yeah. Like, especially in, like, High Wall of Lothric, when, like, the Lothric Knights, just, like, that one dude... shows up at, like, right beside where the dragon is.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, fuck, like, this dude just hammers you.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, you just pick away at it like you're fighting a boss almost, you know?
And then you're like, fuck. After you beat him, you're like, fuck, I sure hope he doesn't come back.
Yeah.
And no matter if he comes back every fucking time.
Comes back every time, and there's,
you just
like,
feel your heart sink.
You're right just like, past him, so... Oh.
I can't believe he was just a normal enemy.
Yeah.
Because, like, back in the first Dark Souls, you fight the Black Knights. Like, you fight a few of those Black Knights.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, fuck, that was tough. And then you're like, oh, okay, well, they don't come back. I mean, I only had to fight them once.
Yeah.
Or you fight the pig. You fight that first pig.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, my God. That was like a boss, right? And it wasn't even anywhere near a boss.
Yeah.
But he doesn't come back. And it's just like, there's a fucking Silver Knight, I think.
That's a Black Knight.
Yeah, he's a Black Knight. All the Black Knights come back. The Silver Knights die. No, they don't. The Silver Knights come back.
They come back too?
I think everyone comes back except for at the Irithil Castle. Yeah. There's that one room where you fight. Oh, we're gonna fight the big crab. Yeah, I don't think I've ever killed one of the big crabs.
I just wanted to like be like, hey, there's a big crab.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not fun.
Yeah, and they all come back, which is fucking
I just kind of
awful.
wanted to come back over here to kind of be like, hey, here's the swamp again.
There's the swamp. Yeah. But yeah, that was pretty much all I had to say about it being grindy. The next point that I have is
the pro.
Yes, the pro.
I remember this.
Which is that the Dark Souls method of playing online happens to be the greatest mode of playing online. I feel like the community is so supportive, and people this is really it, is that people come into your game to help you, and that's why the community is supportive. Mm-hmm. And I feel like you don't have to log into some server. It all happens at the starting menu. So you log in, and it's just like, okay, you go ahead, play, do whatever. And it's like, you don't have to log into some server. You don't have to sign into a separate account. You don't have to make an online account. You just go play with your character, and then you touch a summon sign, and someone else comes into your game and helps you. And
they make it very clear as to, like, this person's going to help you. This is if you want to actually, like, fight someone PvP.
Yeah.
And in this case, here's someone who can help you, but can also be a dick.
Yeah. They can help you and then kill you.
Yeah. So
they can help you get to the boss and then kill you.
If you feel like rolling the dice today, like...
Yeah. Also...
Pick a Mound Maker.
I have never once touched a red or purple summon sign. I always just go for the orange or the white ones, because that's just your normal summon. That's just your co-op party.
Yeah.
I love it. I think it's the absolute greatest way. I think every game that you play online should, or every action adventure game should have this option to play online.
Yeah.
Because it's just absolutely
I think it's great that
fantastic.
You can just like hop in,
yeah,
pick somebody.
Yeah.
At the same time...
And hope that you get them. That's one of the biggest downfalls of it, is like, fuck, you could be standing there for 20 minutes, and 20 lights come up, and you're like, oh, I can click on all of them, and then all of them say unable to summon Phantom.
And that was really bad at the start.
Yeah.
Like, I think I made a point of that in the last podcast, where it was just like...
Yeah.
The 99th person that you fucking try to get is the guy that gets it.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's... With this kind of play, it's like, if you want to play with a friend, it's definitely more challenging. Mm-hmm. Like when me and Matt did a co-op run of, you did 2 co-op runs of Dark Souls 1. Yeah. And both those, and that could also be because it's like a 5-year-old game, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not as many people playing online and stuff.
Yeah.
But in that game, it's much harder to like find the summon sign of the person you're looking for.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have to just keep cycling servers like over and over and over, and keep doing that.
And hopefully it pops up.
It pops up.
At this point in time in the game's life cycle, there's barely anyone playing, and you think that summon sign would just pop up immediately, but it just doesn't work like that. That's just, I don't know whether it's the algorithm or the servers or however it works. Yeah. You just have to keep cycling it.
Yeah. But it's better in Dark Souls 2, even like vanilla Dark Souls 2. It's easier to find people, and if you use the name engraved ring, like you pick your same goddess or whatever.
Yeah.
That makes it much easier to find people in the same thing.
Yeah, you can just pick them out.
So like it's much easier in that regard. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, there's also like, I've never done it because I've played this like solo. I haven't played this with you or with anyone else. Yeah. There's like the password system. Like you can send out like a password thing.
Yeah, they had that in Bloodborne.
Yeah.
And it didn't work that well, but it still worked. Yeah. Like, it's... Instead of being able to... Like, there are downfalls to it, of course. I still think it's one of the best ways to play co-op online. Mm-hmm. But there are downfalls to it, and it's just like the password thing. Like sometimes the connection wouldn't really read, or you guys weren't on the right server, and it just wouldn't connect you properly, or however it worked. I'm not sure, but I know a few times I tried to do Bloodborne with a couple people online, and we just couldn't get the connection, and then it would work, and then like it you know, as long as you were on the same server or however it worked, it would work. And it would work really well, but if you weren't, then you're just... I don't know how it worked, because there was a few times where it was just really hit or miss, and I couldn't get the guy or whatever, but... overall, I just absolutely love the Dark Souls community and the way you play online with... And the interactions aren't, like, super personal. Like, you're not, like, just pitting against this dude. Like, he pops into your game... He or she, sorry, pops into your game. And then you do a bow or you do a wave, and then you go fight the boss or you clear the area, and then they go, and that's it.
It's cordial. Is what it is.
Yeah, very.
And I like that. That there's certain communities that are just like disgusting and stuff.
We're looking at you, Call of Duty.
Oh, there's a few. I mean, there's that for all like the 13-year-olds, but I'm thinking like Smash Brothers. Competitive circuit. Yeah. But
there was some sweaty, smelly folk at Evo.
Yeah.
And that wasn't just the Smash community either.
Yeah.
We're looking at you, Smash community.
Ooh, shots fired.
Yeah.
But
or should be pew pew pew. What is that? Pew. I fail. Okay, fuck it.
Are you trying to do the rap horns? Like
yeah.
Okay.
Are those considered shots? I'm not hip. I'm white as well, if you couldn't tell. So, you know.
You're white? I thought you were Caucasian.
Yeah, well.
But yeah. This community is getting back to the getting back to the good
moving
topic.
On,
I don't know. There's something like everyone wants to get all the secrets together. Like if there's something that could possibly be out there to decode, like everyone's in, all hands on deck. If you want like help online, people are always down.
Yeah, and there's tons of people out there who just have videos on like where to find this, how to do that, how to open the door. You know?
Exactly.
Like, and they're just everywhere.
This.
Oh fuck! I didn't even know that was there.
You didn't?
No.
Like actually?
Like actually.
Oh yeah, dude.
Nice. I needed to see like. There's things like that I would have never fucking figured out.
Oh fuck! Well, here let's fucking go back to the firekeeper lady, the old one.
Yeah, what does she give you? I set myself on a fucking mission to get the washing pole. Do you know what the washing pole is? It's a giant fucking samurai sword. It's like
I remember it, but
you get the katana, and then you can get like the washing pole, which is like a 10-foot katana. It's like a Sephiroth sword. But I was on a fucking mission and I had to get it. And yet again to the community, I just typed in washing pole Dark Souls 3, and it was like this. The first hit was like this dude just walking into the area, getting the ashes like we just did there, and getting the washing pole. It's in the area just before Anor Londo, where you have to walk up those pillars and all the silver knights.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you drop down on this little ledge and you can get the washing pole there.
Yeah.
But community, absolutely fucking awesome. Yeah. And that's...
The thing with these ashes, because generally she's just like, oh, there's ashes, cool, now I can give you stuff.
Yeah.
This one, you give her the Umbral Ash.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I've got a couple ashes there.
Grave Warden's ashes as well. Yeah. But this is the Dream Chaser's ashes.
Uh-huh.
What woeful Umbral Ash this is. The bare stuff of a fool won't yield aught. She's just like talking shit about these ashes.
Yeah.
Fucking, I think it was Vadi Vidya I was watching.
Yeah.
Like, I can't remember exactly who it ties into, but there's a theory that it ties in with, like, some lore from Dark Souls 1.
Mm-hmm.
So...
There's a lot of lore in Dark Souls 1 in this game, because you go right to Anor Londo and see the fucking 3 statues of Guinevere, Gwyn, and... No, Gwendolyn? Gwendolyn is the boy, right?
Yes.
Guinevere is the broad, right?
Yeah.
Gwyn, and then Gwendolyn, right? Yeah. He's the young boy that they pose as a princess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I can't remember exactly what you get, but you get more shit.
Nice. Well, That's a given. I've already bought the washing pole. You can equip that shit. What is that? Oh.
Undead Leech Charmer.
Yeah. I should have a lot of stuff. Oh, I'm not going to wear that shit.
Or you could get Smo's stuff.
Yeah.
I bought his stuff. Couldn't wear any of it.
Oh, it was fucking crazy heavy, yeah.
Like, I tried to up my, what is it again? Vitality. Let's try to remember the stats.
Yes.
I was trying to up it, like, enough to just wear, like, the helmet, and even then I just, like, fuck this. I give up. But, should we pop up the golden crown? Can I buy you the golden crown?
I don't care. Buy whatever. This character's he's been through it all. He can just wear whatever. He's wearing the champion Gundyr.
Oh,
the champ. That's why they call me the champ. But
just want to
just fucking freakazoid hair.
Yeah, totally. Fuck yeah.
I don't know if any of you remember Freakazoid, but shout outs to Freakazoid.
Shout outs to Freakazoid. WB, man. Fucking Freakazoid.
Yeah. I don't really have much more. A lot of them. Oh, okay. This is one thing that I actually wanted to bring up.
What's a good area to go to?
I'm not sure whether it's just the initial release, the PS4, or the game itself. I'm not sure, but this game crashed on me a total of 6 times.
Oh, really?
A total of 6. I'm not sure what it was. Some senses I was trying to summon people. Some of them I was trying to be summoned. Some of them I was just walking, and the game would just fucking crash. I don't know exactly what it was and why it happened to me. How could this happen to me? Shout outs to Simple Plan.
Simple Plan.
Oh my God. And I'm not exactly sure why all of that happened, but it crashed on me 6 times, and I wrote it down, and I figured I should bring that up.
Is there anything go this way?
No.
I can count on one hand how many times this game crashed on me. Right? 0.
There you go. Zippola.
None.
It stands true for me with the other 2 Dark Souls games that they've never once crashed on me. This one, I was like, what is wrong with me? I also have here, right underneath that, the frame rate is pretty bad. But that goes across all Dark Souls games.
Yeah.
But in comparison, the frame rate in this game is actually pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Considering like how vast and giant this game is.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, I'm not an elitist of any sense of the sort, and frame rate is not, like, a really big thing with me. It never really frustrates me unless I'm in, like, the middle of a fucking dire moment, and there's frames dropping, or I'm in a boss fight or fighting a dude, and I really need those frames to be with me.
Exactly.
But that didn't happen very often, but sometimes you're in the middle of the shit, and the fucking frames start dropping.
I can only think of, like, one instance where frame rate shits the bed, and I'm cool with it because I understand. And that's when I'm playing 2 Worlds. Because it's like, that's just the game. It's part of the charm. It's a flaming pile of crap.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful flaming pile of crap.
We had this argument, though. Does it make it a bad game because you still have fun playing it?
Yes, that's a topic for another day, though.
Yeah, that's a big topic. Oh, shit. Look out.
Fucking
see, these dudes still do a lot of fucking damage.
Yeah.
Maybe it's, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just the weapons that they use. They're slash weapons, I think. I might not have good slash defense.
Well, they have frostbite.
Yeah, I got really good frost defense on.
I'm gonna put that helmet back on. Just complete the set because I think that will benefit me more.
I want to go through a list of bosses. And I want to kind of get a rating, your rating on the bosses and what you feel. Okay. I'm just going to go get a boss.
Out of 10 or?
Fuck, I forgot about that guy. We can do it out of 10. But
I'm about to die. Shit.
We can, maybe we can do it on a difficulty level, or what do you think?
I'm just going to give it like a general, this is like, I think a 10 scale is good for me.
Sure. Okay, I'm just going to load it up here. Bear with me. It won't take too long, but... Alright, so here we go. Okay, damn it. I think this is in order. Yep.
Fuck.
Okay, so... first off, we have... Oh, no, this might not be in order. Okay. Go away. I didn't touch the video. Oh, yeah. This is in order. So how about we do this? We give it a difficulty-o-meter.
Okay.
And we give it a fun-o-meter.
Ooh. I like this.
So difficult first, and then how fun you thought the fight was. Okay. So here we go. First, it's the learning area, the trial area, which is Iodex Gundyr. He's not on this list. I don't know why, but he's the first boss.
Well, I'm gonna give Iodex Gundyr. I'm gonna give him an 8 on the goodness. What was the good one?
It was the funometer.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, on the funometer,
on the goodness,
I'd probably give it like a 7.
Okay.
Like it's an alright fight.
Yeah.
But I give it or was it difficulty?
Difficulty. Yeah.
Okay. Difficulty. I give it. Okay. Difficulty. I'll give it a 7 just because I died.
Yeah.
I was not expecting to die on the first boss. But
yeah, and especially the 50% mark when he turns into that fucking giant
And
goop.
see, that's why I really favor that fight, is because, oh my fuck, I forgot about that dude.
Yep.
Well, I'm just going to leave this area, I think.
We just run through it. There's the next bonfire just up the stairs.
Right. I favor that a lot because it sets the stage for what Dark Souls is in this game. Mm-hmm. And that is taking a cue from Bloodborne, having more phases where attacks and like general AI switches up mid-fight, so you have to like think on your feet, reapproach things, and like try to win. I guess I don't know how else to phrase it, but like I favor that a lot because of those things. Like you have like it's not like I guess like if you're thinking of maybe like I don't know Ornstein and Smo. Yeah. Where, like, you kill one, the other guy takes his stuff, and then...
Yeah, that's kind of the 50% mark, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But, like, for the most part... Oh, shit,
there's
someone
after you. Oh,
fuck. He was, like, right there.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise.
I mean, oh, fuck. He was, like, right there.
Yeah, exactly. Fucking holy dancer.
Yeah.
Hold me closer, tiny dancer. Yeah.
I was just going to do that. Snowy dancer.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just like that. This is how it is now. We're taking cues from Bloodborne in another way aside from just general combat.
Yeah,
and like it spices up the boss fights that little bit much more.
Yeah,
you know, you might find some kind of bland. In general, but I mean, instead of being bland all the way through one way, they're bland two ways.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I agree. I you know what? I actually agree with you on the Iodex Gundyr fight, simply because when you come into this game with fresh eyes, you don't know what you're expecting. Yeah. And you fight that first boss, and then you're like, wow, this isn't so bad. And then you hit the 50% mark, and he fucking worms out on you. And he goes wild, and you're like, oh, fuck. Also, I hated this area. Profane Chapel can fuck off.
You didn't like it for...
Ladderman.
I forget his name. Dark Souls 2.
Starts with a G, doesn't it? Is it Gus?
I don't think it's Gus. I was going to say, is it Martin? But I don't think it's Martin either.
It's something like... It's like Bart or something. I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah.
I agree with you on Iodex. It's a great way to open up the game and get you kind of... It really lets you gauge what you're in for. Next up is Vort of the Boreal Valley.
That one...
Difficulty,
like a 6.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Funometer,
5.
Yeah. I would even pit him lower. I would put the difficulty... I'd keep the difficulty at 6, but the funometer is like a fucking 2 for me.
Yeah,
it's not just fun.
It kind of feels like too reminiscent of... Like, for me, it felt a lot like the Royal Rat... Authority.
There's
a Royal Rat Authority or Royal Rat Vanguard in Dark Souls 2, and that's just like a big fucking dog that flops around and shit, and like that's kind of what it felt like. Like in that one, there's little rat dudes that fucking poison you, or maybe they're dogs. I can't remember, but they poison you. In this one, he frostbites you as he attacks, and it's just kind of like, I mean, I like. There's nothing wrong with having that extra like elemental thing to worry about. That makes it maybe a little more exciting, but it's just kind of like, I don't know, it wasn't like that fun to me, that cool.
So the list that I was looking at didn't have the Cursed Rotted Greatwood, so I
Oh.
switched up lists. I switched up lists because, I don't know, IGN just didn't consider him a boss, I guess. He is a boss.
Maybe they're just
and-
going like the required bosses.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that was probably it. But you're required to fight Iodex. You can't skip him.
Yeah,
and I
that's
didn't even
true.
have him. But anyway, Cursed Rotted Greatwood, difficulty-o-meter.
I'd probably put that like a 6 also.
And the fun-o-meter.
Funometer, I'd give that maybe a 7.
It's pretty fun. It's
pretty decent.
The first time you fight him, you're fighting away, and then all of a sudden he does that butt slam, and the floor gives way, and you're falling.
and
You're
you're
like,
like,
I'm
"Oh,
fucked!" Yeah,
fuck.
yeah. This is fucking awesome. I really enjoyed that fight. I think he was another one that's a little uninspired.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of the bosses are just really big hulking dudes that swing at you, and that's kind of it.
Yeah. But
And he was another one of those
I
bosses.
do find that more exciting than humanoid dude that's
Yeah.
a little bit taller than you and
Yeah.
has a sword
Yeah.
from Dark Souls 2.
Up next, we have the Crystal Sage.
Ooh, you know what? Crystal Sage difficulty
Fuck, it's
like 3 or 4.
yeah, I want to say 2. For me, it's a 2. Funometer,
Yeah.
fuck, that's
Funometer,
a fun fucking boss fight.
I give that a
Yeah.
8.
Yeah.
Yeah, 8.
Yeah,
8
it's
probably
fun. Like you're fighting this fucking Yu-Gi-Oh card looking motherfucker.
Exactly.
And you're running around the place. There's like giant explosions of crystals going on, and you have to find the right one. You're gonna fall.
motherfucker.
Oh yeah. I think I probably killed this one right. I didn't. Wow.
Nice.
Look at that. But yeah, fuck. It's a fun boss fight, not hard.
No.
Which is it's weird, but yeah, it's super fun boss fight.
Yeah.
Up next is the Abyss Watchers.
The Abyss Watchers, you know what? I had a decent challenge with them. I'd say difficulty probably like a 7, give or take.
Yeah.
Fun, maybe like a 6 or a 7, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like it's not a bad fight by any means, but it's just kind of like
Yeah. It honestly
it's another one of those like mob fights, like we were saying earlier.
Yeah.
Just kind of like
I feel like for the first Lord of Cinder fight, it's a little underwhelming.
yeah. I will say I like that. Despite there being like 5 Abyss Watchers, there's like the Red Eye one that can fight on your side, so you can kind of,
Yeah, it's kind of neat. You can kind of just like, as soon as they start summoning, you can kind of just duck back and let him do some work.
Yeah,
and he'll only get a couple hits in, but at least it's a couple hits that you don't have to worry about getting in the line of fire.
You can strategize around the fact that you have someone on your side without summoning someone in, you know?
Yeah.
So I kind of appreciate that, but at the same time, it's just kind of like, okay, it's all right.
Yeah, we're getting into the deep territory now. So if you haven't,
Is it the
Deacons of the Deep territory, yeah.
Ah.
If you haven't played the game, I suggest playing it and then listening to this.
Yeah.
I mean, we kind of said spoilers at the start, but now we're really getting
We've already
into it.
dropped the biggest spoiler in the
Yeah.
entire game that Anne Orlando is back.
Yeah, I agree.
So
When you were playing through it, you're like, I was like, I'm at this point, and you're like, just wait, dude. And then I was like, oh, I'm at this point. You're like, at every text it was like, just wait.
Let's get into that when we get to Aldrich.
Okay. Up next is Deacons of the Deep. Difficulty?
Difficulty, 1.
Yeah.
Fun.
1. For me, like,
I'll give it a 2.
yeah, that is not a good boss fight.
Yeah.
It shouldn't have been a boss fight, honestly. Should have been just like a mini boss, and then you go fight something else.
It's just the Royal Rat Vanguard all over again.
Up next, this is by far my favorite boss fight. I don't know why. Walnir, High Lord Walnir.
You know what? Difficulty, like 2.
Yeah.
Fun. I had a lot of fun with that.
10 out of 10.
I'll give it a 9.
Yeah.
But regardless,
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun with that fight, and like I died a few times, and that's just because
Yeah.
you know, when
you run into the smoke or whatever. Yeah.
Well, because like I came in like I'd go towards his rib cage and then kind of come back around to
like under his arm,
and then he kind of like sucked me in, and I'd be like, oh shit, I died.
Yeah.
And it like, okay, it's an easy mistake to make.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Yeah,
not like I'm
it is,
getting
yeah.
fucking trash. But I had a lot of fun with that fight.
Yeah,
man. Like,
it's just a fun fight. I think the best, why it's my favorite fight is because the moment that I had with it was you run into this area and it's completely dark. You can't see a fucking thing. And you run in and you see this little you see a little treasure, a little something that you can pick up.
Like,
so
cool.
You're like, oh, and you go pick it up, and all of a sudden he lights up, and he's fucking massive. That was the moment when I was running in. I was like, hey, I wonder what this is. And I was saying this out loud, like, I wonder what this is. And I was like, oh my god! Yeah. Like, what do I do?
Just maybe the goblet with the skull on it could have been a tip-off. Yeah. Bad shit was coming. But hey, you know what?
I still that is honestly,
it's good to be optimistic about
it.
Things.
It is,
positive outlook.
You never be optimistic in Dark Souls. I honestly think that was my favorite boss fight. Up next, we have this is another. It's not a necessary boss fight. You don't have to do this to complete the game. Also, another area that I really enjoyed is this area. I think it's a great area.
Dragon Barracks?
Yeah, it really feels like Dark Souls 1, where it's really claustrophobic and there's a lot of shit going on.
Yeah. Actually, when I was looking through my footage that I'd captured, I was sitting here just wailing on that dragon on that side with firebombs, and I had him down to like 2 more hits and I ran out. Yeah. And then I bust out a crossbow. Yeah. I think it had lightning damage on it, but I bust out 2 shots, it dies, and then that one dies.
Yeah.
And then I walk up in the middle and just sit here for a second, and then I just keep, like...
spamming?
What did I do? I did my thanks. Here, I'll switch it to...
I don't know if I have it.
I think you have it. You probably have it. Oh, maybe you don't have it.
Is that the one that's like, thank you?
It's the one where you're like...
Oh, like, yeah.
I just kept doing that, like, I did like 3 times. Yeah. Because I was just like, yeah. Kill these fucking dragons.
Anyway, this is an optional boss, the Old Demon King. You know who he is? He's in the Smoldering Lake? Yeah.
Yes. You know what? I really like that area, lore-wise. Yeah. Because it's speculated that it is the remains of Lost Izalith.
Yeah,
and
which
they made
you can totally see.
More interesting than Lost Izalith.
Mm-hmm. This area really reminded me of Bloodborne too. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, I can see that. Like late game Bloodborne.
Yeah.
I think these guys are
like it's not. What the fuck is the name of that area in Bloodborne?
Oh shit!
Holy Jesus!
Oh goodness!
You're dead.
Wow.
That was insane.
You anyway, got a big fucking sword.
It's where you fight fucking the fucking dude that looks like Gwyn in Bloodborne. It's at the castle.
Oh, Martyr Ligarius?
Yeah. What's his area?
Frozen Canehurst Castle.
Yeah, Canehurst. Yeah, that's what it.
That's my favorite area in Bloodborne.
I love Canehurst. It's like the Painted World, which is also my favorite area. It's just, Anyway, back on topic. Old Demon King.
That one, difficulty, I give that like a 4 or 5. Yeah. It wasn't too bad.
No. He does a lot of AoEs, which makes it a little difficult to get in on him, but he's not that difficult.
Fun-wise, I'd probably give it like a 6 or a 7.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's not the greatest fight.
Yeah.
I just appreciate it more for...
The area.
Yeah. Like, you're fighting an arena of just dead fucking asylum demons.
Yeah. Yeah. And like they're fucking piled high.
Yeah. There's just like silent demons and Taurus demons and Capra demons. Yeah, they're just dead bodies like, everywhere. There's like hundreds of thousands of them.
Yeah,
you know, it's
fucking
just like
piled high. It looks awesome.
It looks really cool, and it just makes you like. That's another one of those things that's like this game is more of a payoff to play at the end chronologically.
Yeah.
Because it's just like wow, like the.
I remember this from the first game. Yeah, it didn't look like this. Yeah.
Fuck, I remember being stuck in this. Basically hallway closet area with this Capra demon. Yeah. Now there's a shitload of them dead like everywhere.
Piled up.
It's like, man, makes you think.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that. But the fight itself, 6 or 7.
Yeah, it's kind of
it's not bad, but it's kind of
Up next is another one of my favorites is old Sully. Pontiff Sullivan.
You know what? I'm going to give that difficulty, I'm going to give that like a fucking 8 or a 9.
Yeah, I agree. I'm almost at a 10 with it. Difficulty. It's fucking tough.
I can only think of 110.
Yeah.
For sure. And
yeah.
Okay. You know
I might
exactly
agree.
What I'm talking
yeah.
about.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure.
But...
Funometer... Hang on. Strictly because of the difficulty, I feel like it cuts a couple notches off of the funometer.
Yeah.
But I still have fun with it. I think it's an interesting boss fight.
Exactly.
It's one of the most inspired ones out of all of them.
Well, especially that he splits apart and there's like the phantom version attacks first.
Yeah.
And then you can base what you're gonna do next off of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he like mirrors that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're kind of you strategize around that, and I think that's really interesting.
Yeah.
Not to mention that there's kind of like he has the two, because the one attacks with magic, the other attacks with fire, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think that's interesting that it kind of splits off like that, and you kind of go back and forth between those two.
Yeah. There's two things that you have to worry about at the same time.
Exactly.
While having to worry about two guys with two swords that do
Yeah.
two different things. It's kind of fucking crazy.
Fun-wise, yeah, it's because it's a tough fight. It's kind of hard for me to say it was like
it's fun.
Fun,
yeah. But when you're done, you're like, holy fuck.
Yeah, when you're done,
that was awesome.
Like, yeah,
yeah. You
so
get all pumped up.
I'll give that a 7.
Yeah,
7 or 8.
Yeah, I would agree.
I'd say.
Okay, so after Sully is the Yorm, the giant.
Oh yeah, I guess so. I was thinking.
Yeah. You got to go the other way.
Yorm, you know what? Difficulty, maybe like a 4, to be honest.
Well, as soon as you get the Storm Ruler, like, if you don't know what the fuck the Storm Ruler is or how to do it, like, I ran into that fight 3 times and just, like, I was like, I'm never gonna win.
Yeah.
And,
shouts out to Demon Souls, by the way.
Yeah. Shouts out. But that part, as soon as you get the Storm Ruler, in this previous playthrough, I summoned 2 dudes just because I was like, fuck it. Let's make this easy. I summoned 2 dudes. All 3 of us had the Storm Ruler equipped.
Oh, really?
And it was just like two, we just went through 2 cycles and the dude was dead. That was it.
Wow.
It was fucking awesome.
That's
and
crazy.
that was so much fun. The fight by yourself is fucking boring and it's not, like, they pump him up in that fucking initial...
Yeah, they
pump him
really
up.
do.
You're like, oh my god, this
like
fucking giant, and he's all fucking burning, and you're just like, it's just like the fucking Abyss Watchers fight.
When the first trailers came out, and you see Yorm in that, and
you're like,
so much speculation,
Yeah.
behind Yorm, like. People thought this was you from Dark Souls 1. They thought this was Gwyn from Dark Souls 1. They didn't know what it was, and everyone's just like, man, what?
What's going to happen?
And it's just like, it's just the giant guy.
Yeah, you fight the giant, and you kill him with the Storm Ruler.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow, Demon Souls tie-in, cool. And then, like...
I had a lot more fun with that. Like, I still probably put it, like, maybe, like, a 7.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought it was fun, like, generally.
Yeah, it was alright.
Like
when you figure out the Storm Ruler thing, you're like, okay, this is kind of fun, and then you kill him in 2-3 hits, and you're like, okay.
Yeah.
Also, what the fuck is up with dunking the head in wax?
There's... I can't remember exactly the specific thing. I think there's, like, an enemy later on up in here that
fucks your day?
Yeah, if you don't have your head dunked or something like that. I can't remember. Titan scale.
Nice.
But yeah, that's... probably all I have to say about Yorm. It's kind of interesting that they give you the most important means to taking down the boss within the boss area.
Yeah.
It's not like you find something earlier on that's like could be really beneficial, like in Zelda, maybe you find like the ice rod or something like that earlier on, and like, hey, you bring that into this fight and it'll fucking be great. It'll be a grand old time.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna back off.
Yeah, he fucked your day a little bit there.
A little bit. So it's kind of... I kind of found it interesting that they would just be like, hey, use this sword and things will be hunky-dory.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, like, you kind of have to, like, haul ass to the back of the room to find it and shit,
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of interesting, but at the same time, it's kind of like, if you don't know, you are just...
Yeah, you're like, what do I do? What do I do?
I don't want to say absolutely fucked, but pretty fucked.
Yeah, you're pretty fucked. Yeah.
So yeah, that's Yorm.
Yeah.
Basically.
Up next is Aldrich.
Ooh. Difficulty, I'm going to give this a solid 8.
8, yeah.
Bare minimum.
Yeah.
Fun.
I think it's just strictly because of the difficulty, it takes a lot away from the fun. It's the same with Sully.
You know what the big thing was that I hate in that boss fight? Is the arrows. The arrow storm.
You know what?
It never ends. It just goes on and on.
And he's still shooting shit at you while that arrow storm is going on.
Yeah.
It's happened to me so many times. I get into that boss fight, he'll shoot that fucking those three big beams, And then he'll be shooting the 3 beams, and then right after that he'll do the arrow, and I've just been obliterated by both of those fucking things. And he'll do them like right off the hop, and it's just it's such a pain in the ass.
It's hard to like gauge where it ends because it seemingly never ends. It's like with the dancer with that spin attack.
It's like a solid 8 fucking spins.
It's 8 spins. I counted it. I watched a video and counted it because I was like, how fucking many?
And it just doesn't. And it's the whole, like half of the fucking screen is she's just spinning it. It's wild. But I think just because of how difficult it is, the fight is not as fun. It's still fun, but it's very predictable because there's only 4. He only teleports into the 4 corners.
Yeah.
And you're kind of like, okay, which corner is he going into? Instead of kind of being random anywhere within the screen. Yeah. I think they probably did that because they're like, this fight is fucking hard, so let's make him a little more predictable compared to just randomizing him. Yeah.
I appreciate that they decided to put an especially challenging boss in the room
as like a placeholder for Ornstein and Smoke.
Yeah, who were the exceptionally challenging boss in Dark Souls 1.
Yeah, they are exceptionally challenging. When you first come up against them, you're like, what the fuck do I do? Yeah. I would say he's probably on the funometer, he's probably like a 4 or 5 for me. Yeah. He's not high up on the list. Up next, though, is the one that I was discussing earlier, my least favorite boss of the whole fucking game, the Dancer of the Boreal Valley. Yeah.
Difficulty, I guess it's also dependent on when you fight him.
Yeah.
Her. Because you could fight, that could be your second boss. Yeah. Or it could be whatever number we're at now.
Hey, hang on, I'll just give you a quick number here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12th boss if you go all the way through.
Yeah. And even then, it's a challenge.
Let's say your 10th boss.
So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I kind of put it maybe like difficulty. I give that like a solid 8 again. Mm-hmm. Fun, I give it I'm split right down the middle. I'd say 5.
5, yeah. I can agree with that, though it's another one of those things like Sully, where you fight him and then afterwards you're like, okay, that was fucking exhilarating, and you're all pumped up. Yeah. But just the fight itself is so difficult that you're not having fun while you're doing it. Yeah. After the worst boss in all of Dark Souls, in my opinion, happens. Yeah, I fucking hate that boss fight with a passion.
You need to play more Dark Souls 2 then.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
just Google.
I can't bring myself to fucking play that game.
Dude, me and Matt have been doing co-op playthrough, and we got to like the Shrine of Amana again, and I'm like, all the nice things I ever said about this game, I retract because fuck this. This is stupid. Yeah. But yeah, there's basically just like a big floppy whale seal thing that does nothing. It's called the Covetous Demon.
Is that the...
It just kind of like flops around and basically does nothing.
Does it roll?
Yes.
Yeah, I fought that guy.
That is the absolute worst boss in Dark Souls.
Yeah, he's pretty bad.
But...
Yeah. Anyways, let's move on. Up next is one of the coolest looking bosses is the Dragon Slayer armor, which is pretty much just Ornstein.
Yeah.
But little bit different. Just a little bit different. But still cool. On the difficulty meter, what do you think?
Into that.
Oh yeah.
Difficulty meter, I'd probably put that about a 7. Yeah. To be honest.
I might put it a little lower, but
I think 6. Like the fact that Jesus Christ, I hate these things.
I do too. Yeah, their attack patterns are fucking awful.
Oh man, I'm gonna die again. No, I'm not.
Oh shit.
Yes, I am not.
Oh my god. There's one
motherfucker.
Is there a dude behind you? There's a dude behind you, I'm pretty sure.
No.
Okay.
This is our capture.
Yeah.
Hey, dunk that head, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like that they got like those big spindly dragon dudes, like one of them comes down and like powers them up and stuff.
Yeah.
I kind of think that's neat because you see them just floating around there and you're like, oh, what's the deal with those? And then like one swoops in and is like, sup, motherfucker? And
just like, yeah. Big laser beam.
Exactly. And I think that makes it kind of cool.
Yeah.
But
It's not. I don't think it's overly difficult.
Yeah.
I think it's such a cool setting though.
Yes.
Like on the funometer, it's not even that fun either.
Yeah.
It's just it's so cool.
A cool-o-meter.
Yeah.
I give
the
that.
Cool-o-meter is fucking. It's Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
I don't think you can kill them.
Oh wait, that's why you put wax on your hand.
Oh, so they can't grab you.
Yeah.
Cool. Anyway, he's not difficult and it's not fun, but he's cool.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Sure.
Yeah. Anyway, up next, this is the most random boss in the whole game, I think. There's a lot of lore attached to him, though, is Osiris, the Consumed King. Very, very weird.
Very weird.
He's more of a Bloodborne boss, I feel, than anything. Because he's just... In comparison to the... Oh, shit, get out of there.
Oh, I rolled the wrong way.
Oh, no. In comparison to the boss...
this motherfucker.
Yeah. In comparison to the bosses that you fight previously, I feel like he's not really attached in any way.
Yeah, he definitely feels like... Yeah, just completely...
He's out
separate.
of left field. Yeah, like just really...
Oh my god.
Random. I don't... He's kind of in this little tucked away area that you would probably never find if you were kind of doing a casual playthrough.
Yeah, it's very much optional, but there's reasons I really like that.
Yeah.
And the thing is, Dark Souls 2, if I recall correctly, has like exactly 0 secret areas.
It's all just one.
It's all just
you just go through.
There's a secret boss you can fight if you're part of like the evil covenant.
Oh, okay.
Which I've never done because I'm a sunbro for life. So I can't fucking do it.
Well, fight that dude and get the fucking... Yeah, you don't feel like fighting him.
I don't feel like fighting.
Yeah, you know, this area, you're really far away from any fucking bonfire.
Yeah.
And it's kind of sucky.
But yeah, I like Osiris for 2 reasons, and neither of them has to do with the fight, because difficulty, maybe like a 4 or 5.
Yeah, he's not...
Fun, probably about the same, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's kind of just another big fucking thing.
Yeah, swinging at you. By the way, when he's swinging at you, he doesn't really have a whole heck of a lot, because if you're just kind of inside his arms, like, he can't touch you.
Yeah.
He's really good at getting away and getting that distance and swinging at you, but I fought him... I think I fought him twice, and I beat him on the second time.
Yeah.
And then I fought him with a bunch of people just to grind, and if you have 2 or 3 people with you, he's a chump. Like, you can beat him fucking easily.
Yeah.
But, yeah, he's just, to me, thinking back, I remember fighting him for the first time, just being like, this feels totally different than the rest of what the game is. Like,
yeah.
If all the bosses were like him, I think the game I wouldn't be complaining about how uninspired the bosses are, you know?
Yeah.
Like, he's got, like, a deep backstory. He's, you know, there's shit going on. Yeah. He has this big monologue before you fight him about his fucking kid that was, like, taken away from him or whatever.
There's
like,
just an inherent weirdness to
it. It's very weird.
Because, like...
I agree.
It's kind of like... It kind of makes me think of Gascoigne again, where... Like, it seems like this was...
The levers is just right there.
Yeah. It seems like, hey, this was once a real dude.
Yeah.
And then he got fucking warped and mutated into this thing. But he's still, like...
He still has feelings.
Still recalls the past and stuff.
Yeah.
But the reason I like that is because, one, you get the Path of the Dragon pose.
Yeah.
So you go back, like, 8 areas to go to... a secret area, which is awesome.
Yeah.
But you go behind the chest at the very end, smack that wall, boom, another secret area.
Yeah.
It's just like a twofer almost right there.
Yeah, it's kind of neat.
Like with like
go to that area.
Oh fuck, I forgot about these people.
Hey, wait a minute. That's a fucking.
That's an NPC.
Yeah. I didn't fight this person.
There's also 2 more.
Holy fuck, really?
Yeah.
I think I did bump into her, and then I just ran the other way. I was like, see ya. This is near the...
Twin Princes.
Yeah. Which is not quite just yet. For some reason, next they have the Champion Gundyr, which I think...
Well, that would be... oh, fuck. That would be, like, in the secret... In the Untended Graves.
Yeah, I just ran past all these dudes.
Like, after Osiris.
Yeah. Right. It is.
Right.
Heal.
Yeah, I'm gonna just...
Those dudes don't come back, though.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
And I think you get some good shit from them too.
This is so Demon Souls, this part.
Yes, this is the Tower of Latria?
Yeah, like so Demon Souls.
I'm just trying to remember from fucking the Matthew Matosis video.
Yeah, I know nothing. I've been playing through Demon Souls, but this is legitimately the first fucking area in Demon Souls.
It absolutely looks like it.
Yeah.
By the way, you should watch that if you have, I think it's like 2.5 hours long.
Oh, shit.
But he totally, like, takes apart, like, that whole game.
All of Demon Souls?
Yeah. It's really interesting.
I'll have to check it out.
And he also does the same for Dark Souls. That's like a 6-hour video.
I don't think...
Oh, shit. Motherfucking...
Oh, he's got 2!
S is chugging motherfucker.
Yeah.
Anyway,
oh
shit.
I'm gonna have to check out those videos.
Yeah,
but Champion Gundyr.
Champion Gundyr, I'm gonna have to give that a pretty low score. Just
on the difficulty meter.
Difficulty meter pretty high. Well, not like super high.
Not high, but yeah.
Maybe like a 7.
Yeah.
But it's just it's the same fight again, more or less.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just like he's just like beefier and stuff.
Yeah.
But I think that area is cool because it plays into the whole you're in a land where time and space is convoluted. Like, this is like a fucking like shot for shot recreation of going up the first area and like the
it is,
Firelink Shrine is identical in structure and stuff.
Everything's identical.
But you find some like extra secrets for endings and stuff.
Yeah.
Which is super cool, by the way.
Yeah.
And also the this thing.
Yeah.
Zoom in on that. With your eyeballs. Oh fuck, it's right behind us.
Yeah, it's behind us, you can't see it.
The coiled sword fragment. Like the infinite homeward bone. I really like this item.
Yeah, because it's pretty awesome.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But, so yeah, like, that's why...
I didn't utilize it at all.
I only used it, almost, but...
I ain't boning home lots, so...
Oh, man, I didn't until, like... I think Dark Souls 2, when I started playing Dark Souls 2, I was like, well, I guess I'll use these.
Homework. Yeah, we gotta use them for something.
Man, why didn't I ever use these? Yeah. This is so convenient. But,
whoa,
no, I like...
Wing Crush Shield, nice.
Like, the fight itself, it's okay.
Yeah,
it's kind of the same, more or less, just beefier, no worm. But I like it for the area and stuff. And the stuff going on after.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that.
I honestly think... just thinking back, you are totally right. It is just a recycled... And it kind of comes back again to the uninspired boss thing. But... I think I had a lot of fun with that fight. I just like the Gundyr fight. It's like both fights themselves. I think they're just cool fights. I just like them. Though it is just recycled material. Yeah. But it's still fun. I think it's still fun. Anyway, moving on to the twin princes. Lothric. This one just says Lothric Younger Prince, but I can't remember their names. Lorien and Lothric.
Difficulty... I'm going to give that like a 9.
Yeah. It's pretty difficult.
But cool meter, that also gets a 9.
Yeah. Fucking cool.
Fucking cool boss.
You know what? Honestly, in my opinion, the Funometer is up there with me. Like, I'm at like an 8 with the Funometer too. I thought that was fucking fun.
I'd probably give it...
Like when they separate and you just have to wail on the fucking other dude.
I think I'd probably give it like an 8 or so on the fun.
Like,
cool meter though, like...
Yeah, that's the fucking cool.
That's a cool fight.
Fuck yeah. And just the design of it and like the area that you're in, it's just all so cool. Yeah. It's so cool.
Like I like, like you were saying, like when they split off and stuff, like he just like
hammered
away with the sword, like the fire, and then like the younger prince comes in with the magic, and then they're just like,
it's cool. It's fucking cool. And you have to wail on the young prince and just, like kick the shit out of him. Hey, what the fuck's she doing? The thing about...
What's her name again?
Is
it Yuria?
Yeah, I can't...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Dark Moon Loyalty.
The thing about the Firelink Shrine is that it's never the same twice. Like, someone's moved around or someone else has something to say, and it's just kind of all over the place, and I think that's really fucking cool. Wow. I have 100,000... We got 100,000 souls?
Yeah.
Holy shit. We only get one level, but...
We need like 1,000 more souls.
We'll just use one of the... I'm sure I've got an item that I can, get fucking 1,000 souls from. Anyway, the Twin Princes, fucking cool boss fight. After that, we have the Ancient Wyvern. This is getting really close to the...
Yeah.
Zach had mentioned this earlier. You find that dragon pose. You use the dragon pose. You get teleported to this area. The first boss that you end up fighting is the Ancient Wyvern.
Yeah. Which, so what do you think? This is aesthetically my favorite area of the game.
It says Archdragon Peak.
Yes, that's what it's called. So I had it right the one time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that fight, I like that you can approach it from like a few different ways. Because you can go like head on and just go for it.
Yeah.
Oh shit, that gave me a lot. Or this is what I thought was cool, is because I go in that area, he slams down like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
Like this thing is huge.
What the fuck am I supposed to do?
And so like I kind of run off to the side. I'm like, hey, I could probably go hide in this little area. And like, oh, I guess I can just keep going this way. And like, oh, what the fuck? There's like a whole path.
There's a huge path. Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah.
And to me, that's interesting because it eschews what you're normally used to with a Dark Souls fight.
Yeah.
When you're stuck in an arena with a dude that's like fucking
impossible.
Yeah.
Impossible.
And then in this one, it's like, hey, here's another way you can approach things. And like, the dude's still kind of blasting fire at you when you cross that bridge and stuff.
Yeah.
And you gotta fight your way across, and then you find like this little ledge, and then you just fucking one shot, and you just like man,
spoilers,
like,
but yeah,
pop that in there, and it feels great.
Yeah.
And people hate that fight.
I know. I found it fun when you summon someone in, and you're like, who's gonna get it first? Like, or you can just be the guy who kind of distracts the dragon or whatever.
My thing was, I did that fight maybe like 15 times.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I kind of wanted to ruin it for people a little bit. We talked about the community being so great.
Yeah.
And I come in.
You were just being like, I'm gonna be a dick.
Yeah, just like, this guy doesn't know what the fuck's going on.
He doesn't know what's coming.
Ass. I'm going for it.
Yeah.
And let's go there right now. Fuck it. And so. Yeah, so that's my thing. I was just doing that. But that's why I really liked it, is because, you can one-shot this giant dragon, but it's not the same formula. They break up the formula and change it up enough.
Yeah.
So that, for me, I thought that was cool, and that was fun. Mm-hmm. And obviously, it's like, depending on how you want to approach it, it will skew your difficulty meter.
Yeah.
So obviously, like, for me, it's like a 2, and that's more so for fighting my way up there.
Yeah.
And stuff. But
Funometer, it's up there.
I put it like a 7 or an 8. To be honest.
You know what? To me, it was kind of a cop out. Mm-hmm. But it was fun doing it. Like it was fun doing it.
I totally get the cop out thing.
Yeah.
But for me, it's the whole formula breaking thing.
Yeah.
That really gets me, and that's why I really enjoy it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Okay.
And now we get to
this is the real deal here.
Yeah.
This is the Nameless King, who is a brother of Gwyn.
First it's the King of the Storm.
Yeah. Is it King of the Storm?
Or King of Storms?
Yeah. King of the Storm, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. King of the Storm, in which it's a motherfucking badass motherfucker riding a dragon. Yeah. And you have to kick the shit out of the dragon first. And then you have to fight the Nameless King. And fighting that dragon is not fucking easy, because he can one-shot you easily. That
dragon is a motherfucker.
Oh, motherfucker.
And then he goes all fucking Ornstein and Smo and be like...
Yeah. Fuck the dragon, I'm taking his powers.
Yeah.
But he is related to Gwyn in some way, is he not? Is he brother?
He is the...
unwanted child?
He is the one that they don't talk about, that was erased from the fucking books of lore from the past. Or that's what's speculated. And I say that's probably a fair assumption.
Yeah, I would say so.
Because the thing is, when you look... Because he's like the figurehead of the Warriors of Sunlight. Because when you look at the statues, you see... Basically, you see feet, and you see like a big staff like that, and hands, And like a big one of those fucking blade like that.
Yeah, it looks like one of those fucking Dragon Slayer arrows.
Yeah, but everything else is very much like undiscernible as to what it is. It's just rubble sitting there.
Yeah.
And so now we see the complete thing, and we see the guy, and it's just like, oh shit.
Yeah. Oh, fuck.
This guy's an asshole.
Yeah.
Fucking Solaire, why are you homies with this homie?
Yeah, yeah. Why are you buddies with this guy? What the fuck's your deal?
Yeah.
Yeah, but overall, cool looking boss fight. Like, the dragon looks fucking cool, and then he steps off the dragon.
And coolness meter?
Oh, it's 10 out of 10.
It's a 10.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Easy.
Yeah. It's fucking cool. But, difficulty-o-meter, that's a 10 out of 10
That is also
well.
a 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. It's fucking brutal. It's so unforgiving.
Yeah. Like,
and you beat the dragon, and you're like, oh, finally, that's over, and then you have to fight the motherfucker.
Yeah, and you know what? As soon as I beat the dragon, I was like, I'm gonna have to fucking fight this guy, aren't I? He's like,
He steps down,
Like, damn it.
Brutal. And then, I think solely because of how difficult it is, the fun is seeped away. Is just completely sapped.
Fun wise, I'd probably give it like a 5. And that's being generous. I hate their fucking big dong necks.
Dong neck, yeah. Shout outs to dong neck. Hashtag dong neck.
It's the point that got me. Fuck. Okay.
Yeah, I think overall he's like the epitome of the people are like, oh, Dark Souls was hard, right? Like, you don't know fucking nothing until you fought the Nameless King.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
go get yourself wrecked.
It was like everyone's talking about Ornstein and Smo.
Yeah. You don't know nothing.
Like, that fight's hard. Yeah. And don't get me wrong, when I beat Ornstein and Smo, I put down my controller.
You just sink in your chair.
I was like having a hard time breathing. Yeah. Like, I was just like, man, like, I finally fucking did it.
Yeah.
This one was
shaking.
This one, it was like that, but without the elation.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, like, oh my god.
Mine was the Gurman Gamer Rage. If you haven't seen that episode, watch it. I am so fucking like
salty.
Aggravated. And then at the end of the Gurman fight, like, I stand up, and I'm like, fuck yeah, fuck yeah.
That's what I did.
And I kicked. We have this little ottoman thing, and I kicked it. And my dog Max, we've all seen Max. Max was like, what's happening? Why are you mad at me?
That's what I did when I beat Martyr Ligarius.
Yeah,
I scared my dog. Yeah. I was like, fuck yeah!
And the dog
it was like I got stuck on that. I know people have had an easier time. I got stuck on that guy for like a week.
I didn't
like a solid week. I couldn't
get him.
Do it. And I love that area, but he was so goddamn hard. And then I beat him, and then I screamed, and my dog was like, But this boss is like, holy shit.
Yeah, I don't know if there's. I don't think we can say enough about how fucking difficult this boss is.
Also, speaking of like lore stuff with regards to this, did you hear or see the lore that it's speculated that he is Sen of Sen's Fortress fame?
Really?
Yes.
No, I didn't hear anything about that.
Yes.
Interesting.
Because his names were lost in the fucking annals of time or whatever.
Uh-huh.
But I can't remember who said it, and they made a good point for it, and an interesting point. I was like,
Vati or maybe Epic Name Bro or something?
It might have been this guy that I watched. He's a relatively newer dude to the Dark Souls scene. His name is Paragon. The channel's called Paragon DS, and I recommend checking him out. He's only got
he's got a couple of videos that are really lengthy though.
Yeah. I think he only has about 15,000, but he's
good.
I like his stuff.
And he's really deep into the community.
Yes.
I watched a lot of his Bloodborne stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got really good Bloodborne stuff. Check him out. Shout out.
Fucking pointer finger. But I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, that's a really strange point.
A cool assertion thing.
Anyway, to cap it all off, how's your beer doing? I need another one.
I have like a half one. What time is it?
It's 11:11.
Quarter after 11. I'm gonna be grumpy at work tomorrow, but hey,
fuck it.
Fuck it.
It's Friday. Not yet, but
it will be. I'm really glad I made my lunch already because Lord knows I don't want to get up early.
Lord hates a coward, though.
Fucking have to do it.
So to close it all out, I'm gonna crack my beer. He's gonna.
I'll crack it too.
I remember.
I still have my other one, but I wanna.
I remember my first beer.
I wanna be a part of it.
So to close it all out, final boss, the caps off, and apparently the ending of the series. There is DLC coming out, but as it stands right now, this is the end of the whole shebang. Is the Lord of Cinder.
It's not the Lord of Cinder.
No,
Soul of Cinder.
Is it Soul of Cinder?
Yes, it's Soul of Cinder. Because they are the Lords of Cinder.
Yes, right.
Soul of Cinder.
You're right.
For some reason, when I pictured the word soul, it started with a C in my brain.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Yeah.
I've had one beer.
Like I said, I remember my first beer.
Yeah.
Anyway, what are your thoughts on him? What's the difficulty meter?
Difficulty meter, I'd give it about probably a 7 or an 8.
Yeah.
To be honest. And funometer, maybe like a 7.
I'm okay with both of those numbers. I think the difficulty meter I honestly went into that boss fight and I kicked the fuck out of him. I was like, this is the last boss. My difficulty meter is like a 5.
Yeah.
I just people are like, oh my god, he's so hard. Like he's up there on like the hardest boss, the hardest boss lists. Like he's up there in difficulty. Mm. But I remember playing through it and just being like, maybe his random generation of fucking moves, his moveset wasn't the difficult one or whatever it was, but I just blew through him. I don't know what it was, and I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna fight him again with someone else and like see if it was difficult, but I just blew through him every time, and I don't know. The difficulty was not high for me. Fun. The fun, though. I don't know whether it was just nostalgia or what it was, but as soon as you get him at 50%, he does that big fucking dive. Gwyn's song, the sparse keys, start playing, and you get chills. Yeah, you get fucking. I got chills too. I was like, oh,
as soon as I started hearing, that little riff, I was like,
bring, 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 bring. Like it comes in, you're like.
And then, shit. I was watching my footage again, and
he starts running around like when that weird pigeon toed.
He just gives her at you.
Yeah.
And he's got like that insane flame sword attack.
Yeah.
And he's busting out lightning and chucking at you, which I don't think Gwyn does in Dark Souls 1, but has to do with his character.
I'm positive
being
he
the
chucks
Lord
lightning.
Of Sunlight. Or
he does chuck
the Lord
lightning.
Of the Sun or
what is that? What's that one lightning move that you get? I know he does it. He does do it.
Does he do it?
Yeah, he does.
Because I thought all he did was the
flame sword. No,
the flame sword
chucks,
and the grabs.
I'm positive he chucks lightning.
Dong necks here.
And you can't. Yeah, hashtag dong neck. He can't. You can't hit the neck when he fucking. Oh,
dude.
Are you dead?
It better not be.
Oh no, you're not dead. Anyway,
no sweat off my back, motherfucker.
I think that it really touches the cockles of my heart.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, you're fighting this dude, and you know what? Go for it. See if you can get fucking summoned into final boss.
Sure.
You might be able to. I would guarantee that you'll be able to find a summon sign.
Yeah.
Or you'll be able to get summoned, sorry. But I think just overall, it was just a great way to end. And also, so this is like, when you beat the game, this is the thing that I've wanted in Dark Souls since day one. Is instead of just starting over, you get the chance to fucking just keep playing. And that's what this character is. It says like, you can kill in the flame again or whatever, or you can it's just like, keep playing. Like, fuck, yes. And you can go to the bonfire and it says start anew or whatever the hell it says. Or start the next...
Two.
Yeah, start Journey 2.
That was in Dark Souls 2.
Was it in Dark Souls 2?
In Dark Souls 2, as soon as you beat the final boss, when you beat Nishandra, it's done. But you go back to Majula.
And then you can...
start Journey 2, or you can keep playing from there. Whereas this, it's like you actually finish it, but you still go back to Firelink Shrine, and then you have the option to
place it just down by the bonfire. Most people,
fuck, I forgot what I was doing.
Yeah, most people just place it there. At least I do, and you get summoned pretty quick. Because there's nothing in this area anyway.
This area is fucking cool.
It is. It's a little underwhelming considering the original Dark Souls game. You have to fight through all those fucking Black Knights in the kiln. Like,
well, not only that, but like the unnecessary bonfires.
Yeah.
That's kind of weird. But I like that this to me is like the nexus of time and space smooshing together.
Yeah.
You know? Because it's like, hey, here's the fucking castles and shit that you saw in all the games all smooshed into like the big fucking burnt out kiln.
Yeah.
It's like, man.
Everything
like,
just came through here and was fucking smashed together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's I think that's really neat. And I mean, like, that's just kind of my interpretation of it, but...
Yeah, well, everything you can tell that everything just, like, melted together in this giant kiln.
And it kind of reminds me of Bloodborne, too.
Yeah.
Like the old Hunters DLC.
Yeah.
You know, when you go
where
back to the...
Ashy and... Yeah.
Is the Cathedral Ward where you start again?
Yeah, it is.
And it's all, like, fucked up and weird and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, that makes me, like, this fucking... German expressionist nightmare.
Yeah, it is.
That we see.
Really.
Like, that's what it reminds me of, so.
Yeah. It's just neat. I don't know. Oh, you know how people are dying here? Is people are getting fucking invaded. Yeah. This must be like an area where people are invading.
This is like a perfect PvP arena.
Yeah. I don't know if you, as soon as the PvP, you can't walk into the kiln with the PvP, or with your summon sign, so.
Yeah.
I think overall solid game, and I'm glad I played through it the first time, and I've really this is one game that I've really just powered through.
Yeah.
I don't do that with too many games, but this is one that I was like, I need to fucking power through this game, because I know if I don't, then I'm just going to be sitting on it, probably still be playing it like my first run through this day, so.
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed this game. Yeah. Will you turn the... Oh, there you go.
Just setting this
Just let it be cool.
This nice mood. This nice thing. I think this is definitely one of those games that there's so much of a payoff if you've played the series. You know, like, let's say Mega Man. You could just fucking hop in anywhere.
Any one of them.
And it's good to go. Maybe that's a bad analogy just because it's different generations. But
yeah, but at the same
limitations and stuff like that. But, you know, it's kind of like...
But it's not... Yeah.
You know what I mean, though, right?
I understand what you mean. Like, I don't know if they know what you mean, but I get
Listen here.
Yes.
Wait, my finger?
Yeah.
I can't... Oh, yeah, it's right there. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought my finger was, like, out here.
It's right there.
Listen here. You know.
But... I think that's a fine analogy, because this game...
Yeah.
I think people...
It's a culmination of everything FromSoft has done within this, like, subgenre of RPGs. Yeah. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
And I say subgenre because it's become its own subgenre.
It has. It's, yeah. And people... Oh, there you go. People, what do they call it? Souls type or whatever? Souls-like, yeah, there you go. Souls-like game. And I think...
Oh. Yeah, well.
Oh, great.
The sign's still down, so fuck it.
I think if someone was to start playing Dark Souls, they shouldn't start with Dark Souls 3.
No,
they should definitely 100% start with Dark Souls 1. Don't start with Demon Souls. Yeah. That's the wrong place to start, because that's just shittier version of Dark Souls. Because I've been trying to play through Demon Souls, and I can't. It doesn't have its hooks yet, like Dark Souls did with me. Like, I remember when I first started playing Dark Souls, I had notes. And I wrote out it was kind of like D&D style. Like, I wrote out all my stats. Yeah. I was like, okay, when I up this, it ups that, and blah blah blah. You know, I was trying to maintain it. I just needed to write these things down, because when you fucking start leveling in that game, it's just nonsense. And some of the things that you level do not do anything at all. And if you don't know what you're putting your stats into, then you don't know where, like, and that's, oh
shit.
Exel?
Dark Spirit. Ah.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, well.
Oh, you got 4 dudes with you. You should be alright. This guy's like, shit.
Yeah, fuck you. Yeah.
You gotta turn on your hub, bro.
Nah.
Hub.
Fuck it.
Turn it. Nice. But, there you go.
So I got souls out of it, for sure.
You did.
That's, you know what, anytime I get, like, summoned into someone's world and we beat a boss or something like that, I make a point of trying to kill myself, like, as the
you
thing's
win,
going, and then we win,
it's like
which you can't do in Dark Souls 2.
Really?
You can't do it until after the sign shows up.
Aww.
Because it will not count.
Really?
So...
You can do it in Dark Souls, like, with the gaping dragon would be, like, the perfect place to do something like that. You didn't put someone sign down, though.
That and, like, the Iron Golem.
Yeah.
Because I got summoned... Because me and Matt, when we tried to co-op it, that was the area where we could never connect together, but we'd always get into someone else's game.
Yeah.
It was, like, 5 or 6 times each.
Yeah.
And so, like, every time we beat it, just fucking roll off the side. And, like, yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome.
But no, this game is excellent.
It is. I would consider giving it... I think just strictly because of my fandom, I would probably give it a 10 out of 10. A 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10?
But I think overall, it's not for everybody.
No. None of them are.
And yeah, that's for sure. 2 is not for me, and I cannot stress how much I dislike 2. And I look at that fucking Dark Souls 2 thing.
It's literally, for those who can't see, which is everybody except for us two.
Yeah.
It's literally like
it's 5
feet away, staring at us.
Yep.
Dark Souls 2 Collector's Edition for PS3.
It's beautiful, by the way.
It's a really nice.
It's beautiful.
Statuette.
Yeah, it's like I think it's a 12 inch. It's 12 foot. Fuck, it wouldn't even fit in this room, but it's a 12-inch statuette, and it comes with the 2 swords. It's like the black armor, whatever the fuck it's called. I don't know.
I think it's the
title armor. It's like
the elite armor.
Elite armor. I think you're right.
Yeah.
But it's just like the armor that's like that you see the dude in the cutscenes wearing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Which, by the way, speaking of seeing dude in cutscenes in game and stuff, artwork in general, I didn't realize until today that the guy on the cover is the Soul of Cinder.
On which cover?
Of Dark Souls 3.
Oh, really?
Like when he's in there like that?
It is too.
That's the Soul of Cinder.
You're right.
I didn't realize that. I was watching my footage and I was like,
wait a second.
Wait a second. Like, that's the dude.
Yeah,
Fuck.
You're right.
That's kind of neat.
Is the dude that the collector's edition, is that Yorm? You know, there's that dude with the big fucking...
The collector's edition or the day one edition?
Collector's edition. Comes with the statuette just like that. But I think it's Yorm because he's got the big fucking blade.
No, I think it's still Soul of Cinder.
Isn't it Soul of Cinder?
Yeah, I think it is.
Oh, maybe. But he's got like a weird giant sword, like, yeah. And maybe it is a Soul of Cinder.
I'm pretty sure it is, but...
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think overall...
well, let's say this. How would you rank strictly Dark Souls? That's not counting Demon Souls or Bloodborne. As
a series? Or just...
Like, of the titles. Like, how would you place them? In terms of favor, I think I have a pretty good idea where you're going to put it, and I'll probably put it the same, but it's tough for me.
It is. This is actually a really tough decision because I think just strictly because of how much I enjoy the first one, Dark Souls.
Yeah.
It would probably be at the top of the list, but it's really, really fighting Dark Souls 3. Like, the two of them are so fucking close.
Yeah.
Because Dark Souls 3 is exactly what I was looking for.
Yes.
In a Dark Souls game. Like, exactly what I was looking for in a Dark Souls game. Dark Souls 2 is just... Yeah. It can go fuck itself.
Yeah, you know what? Like, I don't know. I'd probably have to say the same, but it's really... It's tough because there's little things that I like better in Dark Souls 1, and there's little things I like better in Dark Souls 3, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard for me to say which I prefer, and I guess it would probably depend on the day of the week, you know?
Yeah.
There's just like, I think part of the reason that I want to say I like Dark Souls 1 better is just because I know it better.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've done 3 full playthroughs of that game.
Yeah.
And, like, I have explored the lore a lot more extensively than this game.
Yeah.
And for that reason...
This game is quite young, though.
Yes, it is, exactly. And, like, when I played Dark Souls, it was 4 to 5 years old, depending on when I was playing it, because...
Yeah.
But,
yeah, I think I picked up Dark Souls 1 maybe 2 years after it was released. Maybe 2 years. Maybe a year.
Yeah.
But
so it's tough because it feels more refined, and I like that because it shows that, like, the series is maturing, and
there was a progression in the series.
I mean, if you skip two.
I mean, you can still play 2. Don't
here's the thing.
Not play 2.
Here's the thing. Dark Souls 2 is an excellent game.
If it wasn't called Dark Souls. Yeah, I agree.
Because Dark Souls 2 is great, but as a Dark Souls game, it feels wrong.
Yeah.
Just, like, so wrong. And that's a discussion for another day.
Yeah.
Just know that Dark Souls 2 is good. It's not necessary to play this game. Mm-hmm. You have to play 1 before you play this. Don't worry about Dark Souls 2. There's a couple little things here and there, like the sword, like Luke Teal's sword, the old fire keeper lady that you give the ashes to, and the fucking giant tree outside Firelink.
Oh yeah.
That's as far as I can remember, those are like the 3 big things
little
that
references.
Reference to.
It's nice to see that Miyazaki was still like, okay, I'm gonna pay homage to it because it was a part of the series.
Exactly.
And he still, like, recognizes it as a viable part of the series, but to me it's just such a far reach from what the first one was.
Yeah.
That it just doesn't feel like it's a part of the same universe or a part of the same aesthetic, I guess. But maybe that's the wrong word, but I think
it's a game you have play the first one, then play the second one, and you'll within like 20 minutes
you'll understand.
You'll absolutely understand.
Yeah, but
the issues.
I think each game, like with each successive game, it doesn't make the last one irrelevant.
No.
It makes them more relevant, truthfully.
Yeah. Because
you're catching all these little hints and glimpses of games past, or areas past, or what, it's still paying homage to the previous games and being like, this is where we went in this one, and this is what you saw in this one.
Yeah.
Like, there's enemies from each game, and it's just this interesting little intricate web that they woven of story and lore and atmosphere and everything. It's very interesting. But overall, I maybe one day I'll beat Dark Souls 2. I don't know, but as it stands right now, I think 3 is a hell of a way to end the whole series. Yeah. Because apparently there isn't going to be any more.
Yeah.
As far as even when, like, before the game was released, he's like, yeah, this is the last one.
Yeah.
Like, Miyazaki's like,
here's holding out for, like, Space Souls, where it's like all lightsabers and shit. Because
who knows, it might happen.
I want that so bad.
You never know.
Like, he did, like, this dark fantasy thing.
Oh, yeah.
And then he hops into, like, the fucking Victorian era / Lovecraft craziness that is Bloodborne.
Yeah.
I think he needs to go with fucking...
Go ahead of where we are now?
Yeah, I think he needs to...
That might be interesting.
Yeah, and if you want to make it time and space convoluted, just fucking do wormholes and shit.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
Science, man.
Science, baby.
I'm giving you free ideas, Miyazaki. Call me up.
Hashtag call him up. Hashtag free ideas.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Anyway. Here's what I was going to ask.
Yeah.
Quick little last thing.
Yeah.
Trailer for the DLC.
Mm-hmm.
What are your speculations?
To me, it looks like they go back to the Painted World. Because that bridge...
Yes.
Is it immediately, it's just like, okay, we're back at the Painted World of Ariamis. Like,
yeah.
That's just where we're going.
The thing is, the architecture of that initial building there looks different. And it was in that Paragon, he was talking about it in one of his videos. Or maybe it was Vadi.
Mm.
But they speculated that it's either like a pre-decomposition of like the Painted World, like it's before when you go in the first Dark Souls, like you go back even farther, or it's a whole different Painted World, because you see that lady by the canvas, and that dude's like giving you like a piece of parchment paper or like part of a canvas, you know, and so that could, you know, build up towards either something old or something new, something borrowed, something blue.
Yeah.
But I will say when they had the shot of like those fly bug things that are kind of sitting down. Yeah. I don't know if you remember that. It was kind of like in a darker area. And that to me is very reminiscent of the area where there's all those fucking skeleton wheel dudes.
Yeah. Yep.
So that makes me think that could be some variation of Painted World of Ariamis.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and then, like, that's what's occupying that area at this point.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, in the Painted World of Ariamis, you didn't really explore that whole castle. And maybe you're just exploring, like, a different area of the castle or something, or if it's a different time frame, or, maybe the painting has, like, reconstructed itself or, like, rearranged itself.
Well, that's why I like the pre-Dark Souls 1 theory. It's because a lot of that was, you know, like, half... You know, everything's just kind of, like, demolished for the most part.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, like, you go into rooms and stuff, but it's still, like, open air. Yeah. And that sort of thing. Yeah. So I like to think that it could be... Because you see a lot of, like, when they're showing the bits of the boss fight with that dude that's, like, lashing himself and stuff.
Yeah. What is that? Not proselytizing.
Flagellating.
Flagellating, yes. Proselytizing. Isn't that being, like, a preacher?
I have no idea. I've never heard that word before.
Really? Yeah.
Never.
The flagon. Isn't that what that thing is called? A flagon?
Makes sense.
Isn't that why it's a flagellation?
I guess so.
A flagell?
Sure. But with that, it makes me think that it's in this kind of different area. And if it's part of, like, the Painted World, there's not really an area that looks like that. So to me... That says, like, it's still fully built. Yeah. Fully assembled. Yeah. And there's a shot of, like, everything kind of burning and exploding kind of towards the end. Yeah. So to me, that's, like, as they were saying, it's kind of like this could be how it became this state of ruin that you see in Dark Souls 1. Yeah. And that'd be cool. Yeah. So, and... Aside from that, there's, like, the shot of the wolf that everyone's like, "Oh, that's Sif." It's not fucking, fucking Sif.
There was like, just following that scene.
It's a wolf. Yeah. It's just a wolf.
Yeah, but following that scene, the character was fighting, like, 7 wolves. Yeah. And it was just like, it's just...
If, you know what?
Sif is dead.
If it's Sif for some ungodly reason, I'll eat my words.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not Sif. He's dead. It better not be Sif, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Maybe it is. Who knows? But
and then that giant, like, Viking-esque dude that
he looked cool.
He
looked like the new lead singer of Gwar.
Yeah. Was his name Blothar or something like that?
Yeah. I don't know. But he looked awesome. I was kind of pumped about that. It looks great, and I'm sure it's going to be just fine. Yeah. The thing about the DLC for these games is that it's no expansion and the whole game. It's just kind of like you get a new area and a couple new bosses.
Like, there are things that add to the lore of things, and that's I appreciate. But it doesn't ever feel, I don't want to say substantial, but
it's more or less just padding.
It doesn't feel important.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
And it doesn't affect your end game either. You don't have to do it.
And there's one thing I was watching, I don't know, somebody. They were talking about how, like, there's that bird cage in that one area. And there's a lot of lore based around
that bird cage.
Yeah, believe it or not. Like,
really?
I can't even think of it right now, and I don't even want to just say shit.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of stuff that like surrounds that birdcage, lore-wise, that's like could be very integral to the entire narrative of Dark Souls 3. So there was hope that there was going to be some sort of like expansion upon that, and obviously it doesn't seem like we're going to get that in this. But there's supposed to be DLC 2, so I'm kind of hoping that gets, like, a bit fleshed out. Because you hop down in there and you just see, like a corpse like this.
Yeah.
You know? And to me, I think that'd be really fascinating if that was, like, your gateway into the next area. Because, you know, with these games, it's never just like, hey, here's the door.
Yeah.
Here's the door to go to the next fucking area.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you gotta get, like... In Bloodborne, you got to get grabbed by this thing that normally kills you, but this is now like the way that you can. This is
how you get in.
This is how you get in. It's just like it seems almost counterintuitive.
It is kind of
and really obtuse. And to me, if it was like, hey, you go interact with this corpse, I think that'd be really cool.
It would be neat. You're right.
So
yeah, at this point, it's all speculation. Though it is coming out in October, is it not?
October 25th.
That was the same release date as Last Guardian, which has been delayed until December, which is probably not coming out this year. I'm gonna say it's gonna be delayed again.
I'll have faith.
Gotta have faith.
Limp Bizkit version.
Yes. Anyway,
I think that's about
it. Normally we do a constructive criticism of our podcast.
Oh fuck.
I felt pretty good about this
criticism. I forgot we did constructive. It's been a while. We haven't done a podcast in a while.
It's not that we haven't hung out in a while. Like we've been hanging out, but like
we've been busy. Like
he's got a new job.
I got a new job. I have less hair.
Yeah, and it's sweet hat. Shoutouts to Mega64. That is the Patreon exclusive hat, and I'm fucking jealous
because I watched exclusive for now.
Yeah. Well, they said that's it. They're just only giving it. Yeah,
sure.
But it was Derek saying it, so who knows how much honesty there was in it. But anyway, I'm super jealous because I'm a big fan. I think Zach's been a longer fan, but I'm a big fan now, and they keep talking about this fucking hat. They're like, you can't get it anymore because it's only Patreon exclusive, and the first batch is already gone. You don't get it.
Hey, you know what? Just
sign up.
Fucking donate $31 Canadian a month.
Ooh, that's not bad.
You know what?
It pays wages.
It pays wages, and it puts toward cool shit like this.
I agree.
And you know what? I'm supporting like probably my favorite online.
I agree.
Content creator.
I am just anticipating Tuesday for the Mega64 podcast, and any day when they actually upload anything, like it's pretty immediate when I'm like, okay, I gotta check. Like usually it's on the weekends they uploaded their new stuff.
Yeah,
it's never weekdays, but
their latest video
is really
the Playdate.
Yeah, check it out. It's fucking
like,
great.
When this is totally off topic.
Yeah, it's fine,
but it's fine. When Mega64 does satire of like the video game industry, like goddamn, do they nail it? Like, every single time, and that's
just on point.
That is a lot of the reason I keep coming back is because they're so good for that.
Yeah, they are.
Because they've been a part of that scene for so long that they know enough about the ins and outs. And I mean, like the Playdate, that's pretty like common thing to know about. But like, man, did they like really
they
just
nailed it?
Nail it.
But they're in the industry. Like they go to fucking
EGC.
Yeah,
is it EGC?
No,
or
GDC.
GDC, sorry.
Game Developers Conference.
Why did I say EGC?
Actually,
I'm thinking of something else,
when I was in college, I had the opportunity to go to GDC.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I couldn't have the fund. I couldn't get the funds together to go. It was like my whole class went, except for me and my good buddy. Oh. And we were just like, we still showed up to class every day. It was just the two of us watching movies in class.
Fuck.
And and they're all in fucking San Fran.
Man, I mean, it's, for me as a fan of games in general, like, it's kind of weird for me to say, like, I love to go to that, because it's just, like, it's not really for me.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's, like, I don't know, I think it'd just be a cool experience.
Yeah, I agree.
It's sort of like E3.
Yeah.
E3 is more about the press junkets and that sort of thing.
Yeah,
now,
it's not really my gig.
It's
either.
It's not really for us as the consumer.
As a consumer,
gamer.
Yeah.
That's more like PAX or something like that.
Yeah, or RTX or something.
RTX or fucking
whichever one of those.
I don't know. I got a ticket to MagFest, and
yes,
so that's gonna
I'm
be
kind of jealous. I'm actually really jealous. I was saying one day that we should get the crew together and go to Evo, which is fucking...
Evo would be fun.
It's fun. You're in Vegas. You just smoke and drink and play video games. Like, there's not really much for like the average video gamer unless you're really into fighting games, but it's still fucking fun to just stand there and watch people at like a professional level play video games.
Yeah.
It's pretty unbelievable. Anyway, I think overall, I think the constructive criticism was, for me, was play more Dark Souls.
That's a good point. Well, we started with the new DLC, remember?
Yeah, that's right. So I got to play more. It's obvious.
Yeah.
Shout out to Lords of the Fallen. DLC, secret DLC.
Secret standalone DLC for...
I couldn't hold that one together.
Oh, jeez.
Hey, by the way, that game is free this month.
On PSN.
Yeah, on PSN, along with Journey. So this will be up.
Yeah.
Well, probably
and
tomorrow,
but I called it a shoddy ripoff. I don't actually know that. It was more just like...
It is kind of a shoddy ripoff, but it's free. And
that lens flare, though, was
that
really
good.
You couldn't see anything, but...
Yeah, seriously, he ran into the sun, and this lens flare...
white out.
Total white out on the screen. Perfect. It's exactly what you need to see.
Yeah.
But overall, I think I had a great night.
I did, too. Hey, you know what? If you're looking for a fun Dark Souls... difficult, but not necessarily Dark Souls. Well, actually, you know what? Lore-wise, I'd probably put it up with Dark Souls.
Mm-hmm.
Hyper Light Drifter.
I was going to ask you about that game. This is like opening up a whole new conversation.
This is a whole new conversation. I'll say this for now.
Yeah.
Because we got to end it, because I got to get going.
Yeah, I have to get to bed too.
Hyper Light Drifter, it's kind of like Zelda meets Dark Souls. And it's hella fun. It's really fucking hard. The music is incredible. And, like, if anything in that sentence that doesn't describe, like, shit all... Okay, I'll say another thing. The best pixel art I've seen in a game ever.
It's gorgeous.
Ever.
Yeah.
Okay, if any of those, like, vague descriptions...
Hit with you,
buy that game, like, instantly. You can get it on PS4 and Steam. I think it's coming to Xbox One. Not entirely sure on that. But find the means to play that game.
I think it's just PS4 right now.
I think it's just PS4 right now. But find the means to play that game. It is fantastic.
Yeah.
It is so
I need to get it.
And there's a short Vice doc.
Yeah, I did see that. I saw that.
It's very interesting because it gives more insight into the game because there's a lot of the developer putting himself into that game. But that's for you to watch, not for me to explain.
Yeah.
Because fuck you.
Yeah.
But play that game, because I love you.
Also, you know what, really quickly I wanted to mention, we briefly touched on us being busy. I did put up a video on why I've been so busy, because we're in new digs right now. We're in this little room that I've set up, green screen and all. I also had a new baby girl, which was pretty big news.
Yep, I tried to put her suit back in, but it was a whole ordeal because it was like stuck under her fucking cheek, and I was like,
what do I do?
Do I grab it or do I? So I just like,
But yeah, we've both been busy, but I'm really glad to be doing this again.
Yes, it's good fun as always.
Good fun.
It's good fun, good times. But,
all right, let's just pull the trigger.
All right, smell you later.
Yeah. Shout outs.